numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, Sirius XM Channel 158. However you're taking us in, I appreciate it. So does Kelly.
Yeah.
It's Gil Alexander. That right there is my little buddy, Kelly Bidley, everybody.
Hey-o.
On this Monday pre-wild card weekend, post-regular season, I just want to say, I want to relish every second, every minute of the next 2 weeks. Because after that, once it gets to, once college football then clears, and it's down to the Final Four in the NFL, it kind of feels overish already at that point. So these next 2 weeks, I mean, if October's the greatest month of sports and sports betting with baseball, playoffs, and NFL going on in college football, if March Madness has the best 2 to 4 days to begin, first weekend, maybe this is the best 5-day stretch coming up. Thursday, Friday night college football semis. Saturday, Sunday, Monday NFL playoffs.
I mean, look,
It's the greatest.
I get crap for it every year, but this is my favorite betting time of the year right now because we got
great.
Golf about to start back up.
Tennis is
about
already starting.
Start back up.
Hit
NBA
2 dogs
going.
last night.
Love
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
From a betting standpoint, I like this more than even October. From a sports standpoint, October's better.
We'll go both ways. Yeah, on that. Let us begin before we get it. So just, again, the parameters. This is still under the guessing lines umbrella, but I don't, during the season, I don't allow myself to look at the lines and then I don't bet them until we actually do the show Monday morning. Here, I do my guesses, but then I actually look to see, and I'll tell you what my guesses were because I don't want to. I've gone a whole regular season without making bets overnight. I figure I'm not going to do that for the playoffs. I don't do it every year, so I make bets the previous night. But I will tell you what the guesses are, and some surprises to me in this wild card week.
Yeah, man.
You can tell me where they've moved since yesterday. We'll get into that. First, we always start this show on Mondays updating Survivor. Survivor now, of course, comes to a conclusion. Circa Survivor 6, 5 entries make it to the end. We had 6 going into this last week. 5 got there. 1 person had Cincinnati. I hope that person hedged. Mm-hmm. I hope they monetized, in other words. I hope they made money on it. But that Survivor entry survived, Kelly, 19 quote-unquote weeks, 59 minutes, and 57 seconds.
Yeah. Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
You just can't even make it. There it is. And so that's the 6 year. If you're watching on the screen right here at VSiN.com, Game Plus, wherever you're watching, that's the 6-year history of Circa Survivor. The first year, 35 of 1390 made it. That year will always be the anomaly. At least till now it's been. Because then from there, 5 out of 4,080, 2 out of 6,133, 4 out of 9,267, 8 out of 14,266. And this year, 5 out of 18,718. So after the 35, 5, 2, 4, 8, and 5. Actual value of each of those 5, Kelly, in the end, $3,743,600, more than double the entire pool in the first year.
Whew. Good money if you can get it, Gil.
Yeah.
Good money if you can get it.
You know, Kelly, what I always say, $3,743,000 here, $3,743,000 there.
It adds up. Yeah,
all of a sudden, you got some real money. And there they are. Dylan W10, Gary A10, Juicy Coochie 7. He wins for best winning name. Kick your knees up at Real Bro. Good for y'all. Way to go.
Yeah, I know a lot were in the house here at Circa yesterday. So if you're anybody who follows Circa on Twitter or VSiN, you were seeing all kinds of videos of the parties and celebrations going on and the sweats that come with this.
The sweats. Yeah, can I say this? Can I be the guy to say this? Does it sully, I'll use that word, does it sully the contest at all? And no one loves the contest more than I do. And I'm going to say it again. We've talked about it on this show longer than anybody has. Does it sully it at all that now you have like the folks coming in and having 30, 40 entries at a time, and they're the ones that end up getting it? Not all people who end up with 30, 40 entries get there, obviously. Right. But mathematically, the odds are that 1 or 2 will, and that's what ends up happening.
Unfortunately, yes, I think.
It does. It's a little bit,
it's
right?
It's tough for me to answer no on that. Like, I think it does. Especially when everybody's so open about it these days, too, right? It's like, hey, it's me, and this is my entry, but here's my whole team that's in with me.
The braggadocio of the people who would not their original entry.
That, too.
They invest in it and then act like, what they did is a little more. First of all, great accomplishment.
Great
no
investing.
matter what, great
Great
investing.
investing.
But maybe it's you know what it is. It's the poker culture of the where the sports bettors sort of like pipe it down, buddy. Right? There's a little bit of a cultural difference there, I think, that rubs us a little. Anyway, still the greatest contest in the world. But
It's
I think
awesome.
it's worth asking the question.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it does. I think it does, unfortunately. And I know those guys. I don't want to say they feel that way, but ideally, you would rather have one person, five individuals that you could honor.
Listen,
individually.
the counter to that is, hey, people who get 30, 40 entries, they're growing the pool.
Mm-hmm. And look, all these things, though, like we talk about them as their issues or problems or something. It just, these type of things happen when you got a contest that is so great, becomes so popular,
Yes.
and expands year after year. You get more strategy, more thought behind how to
Yes.
attack it, and that's. I think a major compliment to what's done with Circa and Derek Stevens, everything done here with these contests.
It's like anything in life, right? We used to say the Sloan Sports Analytics Conference back in its early days. Oh, my God, I could talk to Mark Cuban for 30 minutes one-on-one. By year 4, you can't get near him, right? Because it's just flooded with humanity.
Right.
So it's like anything in life. By the way, but let's give a shout-out to our buddy. Let's go to Millions for a second. Can we shout out our buddy Steve Fezzik?
Yes.
Steve Fezzik, I believe.
On the graphic right there.
Yes, I'm correct. He ties for 9th place. That is a, 7-way tie for 9th, am I looking at? 6-way tie for, no, 7. 7-way tie for 9th place. Yeah. He ends up 56, 31, and 3. What is that? So he's 3 games-ish behind the winner. We had a tie. We had a tie at top, right? Coin, Hop, and Bison Sports Cards 2. Tie for the top of million. Is that right? Wow. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Isn't that what those
No,
standings say
you're
there?
right.
Okay.
No, I was trying to figure out. We were discussing off air. I know Andy Molitor was in the mix and had flown in town for this. Our good buddy Andy.
We got to get Andy.
I don't know what his dang team name is, so I'm sitting over
either.
here trying to figure out if I could if you can read between the lines.
Wine
figure
and
out who it
cheese, is that one of the names of the? You know what? I apologize to Andy on public because we have a relationship with Drew, and so Andy gets the shaft from us, which we don't mean to do at all. We love Andy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also know where you're going with this. Their Friday pod all year has been Drew with his wine recommendations, and then it's Andy in Minnesota being like, "Well, I'm going to make a stew this weekend." Like they're so different when it comes to that. So
But Steve Fezzik, shout out Steve Fezzik, finishes 9th. So when you break that down, I thought it was a 5-way tie. If it was a 5-way tie, it ends up at 90,000 exactly. But it's a little more than that. It's like 7. So it's a few thousand below that.
Yeah, get it together, Steve.
Stevie Fezzik does it again. And so let the hateration just wash over him from everybody. Look, no one busts you-know-what's more than I do on a weekly basis, but give the man credit for this. He can play a contest.
Yeah, yep.
Potato Commish was up there on the screen. We get tweets from him all the time. What happened to our boy Money Gun Guz? Did he have a bad, last week?
Guess.
Sorry,
Didn't see him there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. There's the
It's
update.
absolutely. I mean, I know we've questioned Steve on plenty of things this year. His actual betting has come up on this show. Wait, the VEASAN NBA contest last year,
Yeah.
I thought he really flexed his muscles as a contest guy then. Once again, Circa Millions, he's up there. So, yeah.
All right, so we're going to go game by game right after the break here. But let me just say at the beginning of this, first of all, how'd your Week 18 go?
It was good. Only had a few bets. I don't know about you.
I did a lot of 3-team 10-leggers.
So I had
three leg 10-team.
Only did one. It was pretty big though. That got home, thankfully.
Let me just say it correctly. 3-team 10-pointers. I don't know why I couldn't say it correctly.
That's tough.
Sorry.
I got Denver, the Chargers under home. That was easy. And then I was on Ravens last night, so that was exciting.
That game was off the chains.
Where
awesome.
do we? I know we're going to go to the breakdown. I heard best game of the year.
I think it was up there.
It's up there. I don't think it's the best game of the year. If you want to sell me on most entertaining quarter, best quarter, something like that. Like that last quarter was ridiculous.
Out of nowhere, by the way.
Out of nowhere. So just macro this before we get into game by game here after break. Macro this. How many of the 14 playoff teams do you legit think can win the Super Bowl? How many of the 14 playoff teams do you think can legit win the Super Bowl, can get through the gauntlet of the playoffs all the way to the promised land? Man. Okay. Ready for it, Gil? Let's toss out Steelers in the AFC, and I think that's the only team in the AFC I can toss out. And I'll toss out the Panthers in the NFC, and I think that's really the only two teams I can throw out.
So 12 of 14.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you.
I think it's a boring answer, and I think a lot of people would share our answer, too.
I think a lot of people would also add the Niners and the Chargers, and maybe there's some that still don't believe in the Jaguars and stuff like that. But I think just out of respect, I'll say it's 14 out of 16 as well.
The AFC, I don't know how you can add anybody more than the Steelers.
Agree.
It's too. I don't
agree.
It's a lot of good to pretty good teams in there, right? Nobody's great.
I think the correct answer is 14. I really do, and I don't think there's ever been another year where we could say that. 12 out of 14. Why do I keep going to 60? 12 out of 14.
Because we did the 16 last week so much.
12 out of 14, I think, is the correct answer to that question. We've had 2 coach firings also as well. Raheem Morris last night for the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons didn't waste any time. He's out in Atlanta, as is the GM, Fontenot, gone. That didn't work out well, and that, of course, Fontenot's sort of imprint is the whole Michael Penix drafting. And then this morning, in case you missed it, Kevin Stefanski out in Cleveland. But as Adam Schefter points out, after moving on from Cleveland, Stefanski now expected to be one of the top candidates in this hiring cycle. So we'll see about that. But 2 coaches gone already, and we haven't even been 24 hours gone from the NFL regular season. That's how it starts. We'll get into it game by game on the other side. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Head into the new year with a smarter betting strategy powered by VSiN Pro. Join VSiN Pro, get instant access to everything you need to make informed bets every day. Sign up now, get daily best bets from VSiN hosting guests, real-time DraftKings, and Circa betting splits, AI-powered prop tools and matchup analysis, 24/7 video, and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus expert picks and prop data throughout the NFL and college football playoffs. Get started today for just $9.99 or save 50% with an annual plan. Start betting smarter today at VSiN.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlett alongside. Man, oh man, what a time of year. What a great time. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Mike Armstrong. Incredible. The entry parts 1 went 19-1, was the only entry to lose yesterday, week 18, when the Browns won with a last-second heartbreaking field goal. Last year, he went 19-1 under the entry named Tars and was eliminated in week 18 when the Falcons lost in overtime to the Panthers. Now, Mike, we saw this in the VSiN newsletter, which our buddy Bill A.D. writes lovingly every single day. And the way that it was phrased in the newsletter, it was 19-1. We weren't sure if that just meant, I would have gone 19-1 versus that he actually lost in the last week as well. But what you're telling us is this is 2 years in a row where my man has lost the last week, because 10 entries lost last year in the final week. Good God.
That's wild. Yeah.
That's rough.
He tweeted about it too. Yeah, we started getting this yesterday a little bit. Was trying to confirm some of it, but yeah, Pete Tarzowitz, I'm going to go with, but at Pete Tars on Twitter, TARZ.
Yeah,
I couldn't really figure it out from his tweet either. But man, if that is wild,
and you're right,
brutal.
If you have Pete Tars on air, what do you say to me? Like, well, so how much did that suck? You know, like
follow-up
and then
question.
How much did it suck last year?
How much money did you lose specifically?
Robert, sorry.
You know what,
sorry,
Pete hopefully you
did.
Yeah, hopefully you were smart and got something out of it 2 years in a row.
I hope so.
You're probably, well, I don't want to say able to laugh about it, but hopefully in 5 years from now you'll be able to laugh about it.
Hope you made out both times.
I'm going to give him 5 years, though. I'm going to give it 5 years.
Square Bob 2022, is it possible Survivor 2020 is the anomaly because 2020 is also the last year that only had 16 games? Happy New Year. Yeah, it was I guess 17 weeks of Survivor the first year because there was also a Thanksgiving.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, but it was also the fact that you could just pick against the Jets and the Jaguars every single week until you couldn't. I got all the way to week 14, lost on the Rams as a 17-point favorite against the Jets, but that was kind of the strategy that year. It was very simplistic that year. Judd O'Connor, I took the 90-1 ticket on the Panthers to win the NFC a few weeks back. Looking to hedge out, I don't really see a route unless I take an NFC winner. Do I just wait and hope MVP Matt has a repeat performance in Charlotte? Well.
Wait, Gil. I think we can answer this the same way we discussed hopefully those people didn't cash those out. Remember we were talking about the Panthers? What was that?
Oh, yeah.
The Panthers to win the division, right? And then it actually got out.
And we were like, cash out.
100 to 1, right? It was 100 to 1, and we were like, cash out the next day.
Was that even this year?
Am I thinking of 2 years ago?
I'm feeling like it might have been last year.
I hope you're right and I'm wrong and that was 2 years ago because you're right. Otherwise, we gave terrible advice.
Yeah,
but
Kelly and I can't get these years straight.
Whatever
either.
that ticket is, I'm going to give the same advice. Probably cash out some of that.
Money down bets. I feel like Stefanski should have been gone a long time ago. Why was he given such a long leash? I don't know other than the Deshaun Watson thing was such a mess that maybe it prolonged things for him. To be honest with you.
I mean, I'll throw you an early Are We Sure this week. Are we sure Kevin Stefanski's a good coach, a bad coach?
I have no idea.
Me
But
either.
apparently Adam Schefter thinks he's going to be highly coveted. And John Massey, congratulations on finishing the season with as many interceptions as the Jets this year. Performance bonus?
It's incredible.
The New York Jetropolitans did the impossible. 0 interceptions in a 17-game schedule. First time since 1933 any team has gone through the season without a pick. Again, the previous record was the Niners went 14 games in a row without a pick last year. It's just incredible. It's almost impossible. And then there were some stats suggesting that the Jets defenders were so close to receivers that it was even more impossible than you think it is. That they weren't. It wasn't like they didn't have good coverage. Let's do it. Let's get into a game. Guessing lines. Wild card week. No intro. There we go. All right.
Saturday afternoon here on the West Coast, 1:30 Pacific time, 4:30 Eastern. The Houston. It's not the Houston.
It's not
Texans.
the Houston Texans.
LA Rams at Carolina Panthers.
Rams at Carolina. Houston gets spared. The 5-seed Rams, the 4-seed Panthers at Carolina because they won the NFC South. With a 3-way tiebreaker, 8-9 is their record. Rams get in there at 12-5. Rams, in case you missed it yesterday, real quick, 6-6 game. Rams go 18 plays, 74 yards, 4th and goal at the 2. Stafford to Puka, jump ball, one-handed snag, 13-6 Rams.
Yeah.
And then Arizona's second play of the next drive, 1st and 10th, the Rams, 31% picked by Akella Witherspoon. Rams from their own 31 with 49 seconds left. How many times have we seen the Rams do it this year with virtually no time on the clock? They're like, no problem, Beavis field goal, 16-6 at the half. Arizona, though, would get 2 consecutive touchdowns on their first 2 drives of the second half to get it to 16-13 and then to take the lead 20-16, but then it was all Rams. 6 plays, 70 yards. Stafford to Parkinson from 21 out, 23-20 Rams, late third quarter. Next time the Rams had the ball, 6 plays, 66 yards. Stafford to Higbee from 22 out, 30-20 Rams. And then the next time the Rams had the ball, 12 plays, 81 yards. Stafford to Parkinson from 1 out, 37-20. That's how it would end. Nakua's final piece for the Offensive Player of the Year, 10 catches, 76 yards, a touchdown. We'll get into that coming up. Awards a little later on the show.
4 tutties for Stafford.
4 tutties for Stafford.
Your new favorite in the MVP market once again.
As he should be.
As he should be.
And then there's the Carolina Panthers. Panthers on Saturday. Tampa Bay came out, 9 plays, 74 yards. Baker to Otten from 18 out, 7-0 Bucks. Next time Tampa Bay had the ball, after Baker missed a wide-open Payne Durham on 1st and 10th, the Carolina 13, McLaughlin, 29-yard field goal, 10-0 late first quarter. Next time Tampa Bay had the ball, this Tampa Bay 3rd and 7 at their own 23. Baker picked by Christian Roseboom. Carolina set up at the Tampa Bay 19. 3 plays. Bryce to Tremble from 8 out. 10-7 Bucks. 10:50 left in the second quarter. And here's where the shenanigans began. Tampa Bay ensuing kickoff fumbled. Looks like Carolina recovered on the field. They ruled Tampa Bay maintains possession. Kelly, I never saw a replay telling me that. It was very strange.
Yeah.
Was the Panther not down by contact? Nobody said a word. Then they punt after Tucker runs into Baker and the ball slips out of Baker's hands on consecutive plays. Anyway, still 10-7. Then Carolina 3rd and 6 at the Tampa Bay 49. Bryce picked by Jacob Parrish. That led to a McLaughlin field goal. 13-7 Bucks at the half. Third quarter, oh my God. Carolina 4th and 1 at their own 44. Hubbard does get 3 yards on this drive. But that was after officials blew the whistle, and ruled an incomplete pass on a 1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 34. The call was then changed to a backwards pass to Dowdle that went out of bounds, they said. and Carolina loses 7 yards on the play. The Panthers, by rule, should have had the option to redo the play. Instead, with that drive, they were forced to settle for a Fitzgerald 54-yard field goal, which missed wide left. Bowles, by the way, was told to put the challenge flag back in his pocket on this sequence. This was insane. You can't do that to a team. It completely destroyed that drive. You blew the whistle, and then you acted like you can't then take away 7 yards from them. You got to let them replay it. Carolina, next time they had the ball after a huge third down pickup to McMillan, OPI called on him. It looked like hand fighting within 5 yards. Play before that, Bucs linebacker Servache Dennis ripped off the helmet of Tommy Tremble. Should have been an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and an automatic first down for the Panthers. Nothing called. Anyway, Tampa Bay after a PI called on Carolina then when Otten's feet got tangled with Nick Scott. End up with a McLaughlin field goal 16-7 Bucs early fourth quarter. Carolina first and 10 at the Tampa Bay 20. Dowdle slips on an attempted pitch back to Bryce. What were they doing? Trying to like a flea flicker at the 20. Fumbles recovered by Levante David. McLaughlin then the 38-yard field goal try blocked after Carolina successfully challenged an Otten would-be catch. Carolina 4th and 8 at the Tampa Bay 48 with 3:10 left. Bryson McMillan for 40 behind the defense down to the 8. 2 plays later, Bryce to Jalen Coker. What a catch. 16-14 Bucs. Panthers within the number, but Tampa Bay from their own 29 with 2:23 left. Panthers have all 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Can't get them off the field in time. Tampa Bay ends up with the ball with 18 seconds left, but from their own 3. Ball game. Tampa Bay wins by 2. But what did I just say? 4 different things that went against the Panthers. I am so glad the Falcons won yesterday because that is just deserved, getting the Panthers in the playoffs. That was Miami versus Jets. You remember that Monday night game earlier this year, the Dolphins versus the Jets, where every call went against the Jets and for the Dolphins, egregiously so. This was the comp to that, where it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was bad. There were a couple games bad officiating this weekend.
Tetairoa McMillan, 4 catches for 85 yards in this ball game for the Panthers. His final resume point for the
might have been enough.
Offensive Rookie of the Year there. He's a massive favorite in that. Anyway, I guessed Rams minus 8.5 at Carolina, and it is?
It is 10.5.
Yeah, I was low on that. That was probably my worst guess of the bunch.
Keeping that one out of teaser range for us.
That was the one where I had a bad guess, and instead of wanting to bet it, I'm like, oh yeah, they're probably right. Should be that.
Yeah.
Although, remember, Carolina beat the Rams earlier this year, 31-28, Week 13. We'll talk about that next game as well. Next on A Numbers Game.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
ProfitX, the #1 sports prediction market, has some of the best future pricing you'll find on college football, national championship, and Super Bowl odds. With a huge holiday slate shaping playoff seeding, now's the perfect time to get in and take advantage of ProfitX's 20% purchase match. Download ProfitX today and experience the future of winning. Use promo code VSiN to get started. We mentioned earlier, and I'm sure you've heard, Raheem Morris out as head coach of the Falcons. Terry Fontenot out as the GM as well. And in addition, this morning, Kevin Stefanski out as the coach of the Cleveland Browns. We have a couple confirmations of guys staying. Zach Taylor is staying with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals organization, which notoriously does not like to make changes, are on brand once again. Adam Schefter reporting continuity in Cincinnati. Bengals are bringing back head coach Zach Taylor and director of player personnel Duke Tobin for the 2026 season, per team president Mike Brown. Mike Brown always just stands pat. That's his thing. And then
I'm going to go with cleared by quarterback Joe Burrow.
I'm going to go.
Did you hear him yesterday? Burrow a little feisty.
I saw. Do you see that video? Is that video real? The one that I was looking at where he's like fixing his hair for 30 seconds?
I didn't see that one.
I don't know. But the other sort of announcement of, this is not a coach, this is a GM, the New York Giants are keeping Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen, this is from Jordan Renan on Twitter. Joe Schoen being retained by the Giants, according to sources, has already been informed of the decision by ownership, who believe he's built a good young core. Giants went 4-13 this season and are 22-55-1 with a playoff appearance, 4 seasons in charge. I had to do the whole look around the mic stand.
Yeah. You got to get that other TV on.
Joe Schoen is, this guy is Teflon. Joe Schoen, of course, was featured prominently in the Giants preseason Hard Knocks a couple years ago when they botched the entire Saquon Barkley thing. It's amazing. He's still the GM. I wonder how Giants fans feel about that. Boy, oh boy. Okay, we get tweets of beating the book. This is from, let's see, Tim Bowers on Twitter. Oh, there's plenty of these. Tim Bowers. I got your schedule-focused bounce-back team for 2026. Fourth place, 9-8 Lions. Get the honor of playing the Titans, Giants, Cardinals in the NFC South next year, plus the Jets. Oh, and Goff threw for 4,400 yards in a year with a bad O-line. Oh, and he won in the cold. Yeah, Tim, I think you're right, but I think the market will not be surprised by that at all, right? It's going to be built in.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great tweet. It's something I have written down and in the back of my mind
100%.
as well. But like Gil said, I think a lot of people do. I think the books will be ready for that.
Bob Sacamano, lost Browns season win total under 4.5. Steelers win total under 8.5 on those last second field goals. Both were picks I got from a numbers game. Heartbreaking. Thanks for the fun ride, though. Did we give out Browns under 4.5? Oh, maybe a guest did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't. I wasn't on that, and I damn sure wasn't on the Steelers under this year, Gil. I can tell you that.
You definitely weren't. And there's so many tweets. So let me just read one more because we got to get to the game. Sean Ebbett, I have a 350-1 ticket on Miami to win the national title from the night before the final rankings. Hedge, he says, ? Well, Sean, you bet it for a reason.
Wait, what was the question?
He's got a 350-1 ticket on Miami to win the title from the night before the final rankings because, remember, nobody thought they were going to be in.
It's a big number.
It's a big number.
I mean, I guess
I can work with it.
I was going to say too early, but at that big a number, it's not too early.
At that big of a number, it's not too early to do it the week before.
I mean, it also depends, right? Did you bet it because you believe in Miami, or did you bet it because you wanted to grab a number that you didn't think was going to be there? And if that was the whole point, then start banking money now. Fine.
Yeah. But if you have some core belief that hasn't changed, then that's a different story. All right, just let me just say this. Carolina did play the Rams this year again, week 13, for those who need a reminder, 31-28 Panthers. Remember, that was the game where Stafford, he threw a touchdown pass early and set the record for the most consecutive touchdown passes without a pick, 28 touchdowns without an interception. And it was a 7-7 game, and then he proceeded to throw a pick on 2 consecutive possessions.
Yeah, I lost a lot of money in that game.
One when it was 3rd and 6 at the Panthers' 8, which prevented a Rams score. Nick Scott in the end zone. And then the next possession, it was Mike Jackson with a pick 6. That was also the game where it was 28-24, Bryce to Tedroa McMillan for 43 yards on 4th and 2 to put the Panthers up 31-28, and the game ended when Stafford was sacked by Derek Brown. He fumbled it and was picked up by DJ Wanham of the Panthers. So they did play once. Panthers did win it. Those were the circumstances. Obviously, Rams still one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I understand why they're a double-digit favorite. Second game on Saturday is?
Saturday night, 8 Eastern, Packers at Bears.
No need to talk too much about the Packers yesterday because Clayton Tune was playing quarterback, and just for giggles, Clayton Tune was 6 of 11 for 34 yards.
Jeez.
He's like, Max Brosmer, hold my beer. Watch this. The only thing, by the way, Minnesota won that game 16-3. There's just no correlation about anything we saw yesterday to the actual Packers. But I do want to say the one play that just summarized everything for that game was Minnesota had a 1st and goal at the Packers 5. They were up 13-0. Did you see this play where Brosmer thought he was down by contact and he nonchalantly got up? He just sort of stood there, and the ball got knocked out of his hands, recovered by Terrence Sorrell.
Did not see this.
Oh, my God. And then the other part of that game, the only other noteworthy part is it was 16-0. There's, a few seconds left in the game.
Sure.
And they roll out McManus to kick a field goal to make it 16-3 to get within the final number.
13.5,
yeah. Just to not get shut out. So, of course, the It's Fixed crowd went crazy on that. I will say this, though. The It's Fixed crowd got everything they needed for that Carolina-Tampa Bay game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am very glad that McCarthy started that game. I'll tell you that much, Gil. Because, I said it in last week. I was prepared to fire on Green Bay if Brosmer was going to get the full game.
You know what is hilarious to Washington fans? Everybody immediately wants to say, oh, Jaden Daniels, he might not be able to stay on the field, blah, blah, blah. Are you kidding me? J.J. McCarthy.
It's bad.
I mean, no one says this about him?
People say this. Okay. It's a major concern at this point.
At this point, this guy has played nothing.
I mean, that was a concern early in the season. It was, hey, you're into year 2. We don't even know what the guy is yet because he can't get on the field.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then remember, there's the big questions of we don't know if he's ready or not, but he's got to play if he's going to get used to the NFL level at all.
Jordan Love will be back, of course, for Green Bay. At Chicago, there's a 7-seed Packers against the 2-seed Bears. Bears lost to the Lions yesterday. Bears, Ben Johnson, he played everybody. They went the distance. In case you missed it, was 6-0 Detroit. Then Detroit went 9 plays, 76 yards, including a 4th-and-1 encroachment at their own 33, where the Bears gave them a first down. 6 plays later, Goff to Gibbs from 15 out, 13-0 Lions. Bates would miss a 53-yard field goal try wide left to keep the score at 13-0 at the half. Chicago, 2nd and 4, the Detroit 37 to start the second half. Caleb picked in the end zone by Avonte Maddox. And then Detroit got a Bates chip shot field goal to make it 16-0. Late third quarter. And then the Bears did what the Bears do. This game was like completely the Bears brand for the season. Down 16-0. Bears 7 plays, 65 yards. Caleb to Jade Walker from 25 out. Monungai in from 2, cuts the lead in half, 16-8, early fourth quarter. Next time Chicago had the ball, 13 plays, 88 yards with the third play of the drive. A snap getting by Caleb to the goal line and him calmly throwing it downfield incomplete. Thought that was awesome because I'm like, good for you, Caleb. Keep your head about you. Then he goes to Kmet for 19, to Loveland for 27 on the drive. Eventually, Caleb to Loveland from 1 out. Touchdown to Kmet, who gets popped but holds on for the 2-point conversion. We're tied at 16 with 5:25 left. And then Detroit, 3rd and 20 at the Chicago 35. Goff picked off a deflection by Kevin Byard. Chicago with the ball, tie game from their own 26 with 2:11 left, all of their timeouts, but a 3-and-out with an intentional grounding setting them back. Detroit from their own 37 with 1:41 left, 2 timeouts. They get the Bates field goal to win it, 19-16. But because the Eagles lost, the Bears maintain the 2 seed. So it's the Packers at the Bears for the second game after the Carolina Rams game on Saturday. I said Bears minus 1.5. That was my guess. And it is?
That's where we were at open pretty much everywhere. This line is moving around. You can shop right now, 1.5 on the Bears at DraftKings right now, 1.5 on the Packers at FanDuel/Boyd right now.
See, when I looked at it, I thought the Packers were the favorite last night. When I guessed Bears, I thought Packers were favorites.
They were this morning, says Danny.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Packers as the favorite.
No, Packers at DraftKings,
Yeah.
we're 1.5.
Yeah.
So it's been jumping around. Pick them at circa behind us.
Now, of course, these two teams played twice this year. They are division opponents after all. Week 14, Green Bay beat Chicago 28-21. Remember, that was a game where Caleb rolled out left, down a touchdown, and then sort of off balance, threw it weakly into the end zone. Keyshawn Nixon picked it off to seal the game for Green Bay. And then what most people will remember is 2 weeks after that, week 16 on a Saturday night, that was the game where Chicago recovered the onside kick late, scored the tying touchdown in regulation. Then Malik Willis fumbled the ball in plus territory in overtime, and the Bears came down, and Caleb did his thing, and the Bears won it in overtime, so they split. I think it's a little disrespectful to the Bears for the Packers to be favored. I get it based on the circumstances of what I just described. But
I thought it was going to be Bears small favorite, too.
Yeah.
I teased up Packers. Packers in a 6-point teaser for me.
okay. So what is it right now?
You can find it anywhere. 1.5 either side.
Either way.
A lot of pick'ems
Yeah.
out there.
I think I like the Bears. I think the magic carpet ride continues for one more week. Coming back.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, live from the Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin on this beautiful Monday morning. Hope you're having a happy New Year. I didn't say Happy New Year. I said hope you're having a happy New Year.
Well done.
As the
Well done.
statute of limitations comes to
This
an
is
end.
your last day, at least to say it to me.
That's right.
At least that. Which I would hope most people would feel that way. I'm giving today because a lot of people are returning from vacations, right?
That's right.
So you're going to see people
Last
at
time you can
work,
say it.
Happy New Year.
And after today, shut your pie hole.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Throughout the show, in addition to going through the wild card weekend games, of course, also going to talk about the coaching moves or non-moves already. Again, Kevin Stefanski out in Cleveland. We already know Raheem Morris is out in Atlanta, as is Fontenot, their GM, or their former GM now. We already know that Joe Shane is staying as GM with the Giants. Zach Taylor staying as head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Tom Pelissero now reporting that only coaches who have a first-round bye or aren't in the playoffs are permitted to interview this week. Talking about the Titans here, they are asking to or looking to interview for their head coaching vacancy, because remember, McCoy was an interim coach, looking to interview Lou Anarumo, who is the defensive coordinator of the Colts, Vance Joseph, the DC of the Broncos, Matt Nagy, the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs, and Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator of the Chiefs. And weren't all four in Tennessee at some point? Am I mistaken about that?
I believe so. That's what Danny tells us. Vance Joseph. Of those four, who's most likely to get a head coaching job?
Well, Vance Joseph, Nagy, and Spagnuolo have already had one. Didn't go so well. I don't know. That's a toss up.
Vance has had a heck of a couple seasons in Denver. I think he gets another shot at one. Do you think Spags wants it?
I don't know.
It's a very comfortable position you're in right
really
now. You know what I mean? Like,
what a beautiful thing to be.
For a guy that's been around the NFL and knows how this business works.
He had his taste of being a head coach. Patrick Mahomes is coming back. Andy Reid's got the offense. You've got the defense. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. It's weird to say, but I kind of feel that way. Like, I don't really know how much. The one I'm most interested in is
Anarumo might want a shot at one, so I'd say him.
Oh yeah. Good point. He will if he wants one, or he does. He will definitely want one of the people on that list, right? Everybody else could, in theory, want to stay. The one I'm most interested in, I would say, is the report from Mike Florio about Tom Brady trying to get Brian Flores to the Raiders.
That's the most inspired choice to me. Brian Flores got to be the defensive coordinator of the year.
Oh, I would say so. I will even say assistant coach of the year,
or at least body of work even beyond this past year, right? Whatever happened in Miami happened. Should get another try.
So, I mean, it's bizarre because the man's currently in a lawsuit involving the NFL and multiple NFL teams. This is part of the reason why he hasn't gotten more of these opportunities. But, man, I think he would be one of the best 32 coaches in the NFL.
On Twitter, Jonathan Sears, met you guys last year when I was in Vegas for the Pizza Expo. Good stuff. Black Dog Pizza opening in 3 weeks, he says. I'm in this Circa playoff survivor. The only playoff team I've taken so far is the Bears. First look, I like Houston and Green Bay the most this week. What say you? Jonathan, I am not going to chime in. I didn't even know there was a Circa playoff survivor. Did you?
No.
No idea. Good for you.
Is it another state?
I like your strategy, though, Jonathan. And by the way, why do pizza shops get to be called parlors, but nothing else does? Like if I sold bagels, I couldn't call it a bagel parlor? It's only reserved for pizza?
I told you ice cream parlor, too.
Well, that's true. Spence CC.
But you're right. There's not many parlors.
What was weird about that Carolina backwards pass? Oh, I mentioned this, Spence. He says, why did the officials say it went out of bounds when it didn't actually go out of bounds at all? We're not supposed to believe what everyone's eye saw? That was the most bizarre part of it. Not only was the whistle blown and Carolina couldn't advance the football, but they changed the incomplete pass on the field to ball went out of bounds. No, it didn't.
By the way, one I meant to bring up when we were going over the Bears game, because I think Caleb was one of the at least three that I saw this weekend. The grounding of, let me throw it so clearly out of bounds, and you cannot tell me there's a receiver in the area, and they just don't call intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Drives me insane.
Money down bets. If you guys were to construct an NFL staff out of VEASAN hosts and analysts, including yourselves, how would you do it? Head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, GM. Of course, Fezzik would be the clock management guy. I want to be the clock management guy. Forget Fezzik. I almost said something else. Danny Higgins is my head coach / offensive coordinator.
Wow.
There you go. Man has played football as a quarterback professionally in Europe. He gets the job. You're welcome, Danny. Danny said thank you, Mayor. All right, we got a lot of tweets, but we'll get to them coming up. Next, let's go to Sunday.
Sunday, early window, Bills at Jaguars.
Bills at the Jaguars. This was the guess. And by the way, for those, again, who are just tuning in, I make my guess, but I actually look for the playoffs after I make my guess. But I'll tell you what my guess was. I was the most surprised by this one.
Me too.
Buffalo with Mitch Trubisky. So we were right. Josh Allen handed the ball off to Cook.
See ya.
And he was like, see ya. There's my starting streak continues. He exits Trubisky in. Trubisky was good.
And good on the books. I could not. I had him up the whole time. Gil, I was like, give me some Josh Allen props to go under. I couldn't get anything in.
No need to go through this Buffalo game. They destroyed the Jets. Trubisky to Knox from 17 out, 7-0. Ty Johnson in from 6, 14-0. Trubisky to Gabe Davis for 18, to Reggie Gilliam for 22. 3 plays later, Trubisky to Ray Davis from 2 out, 21-0. At that point in the game, by the way, 21-0, the total yards at one point was 197-9.
Yeah, Brady Cook also really bad.
Aaron Glenn is still a coach?
Yes.
Buffalo in the second half, Trubisky to Gabe Davis from 2 out. So what a catch by Davis, snatching it from the defender on 4th down. Prater out, so then they kept going for 2. 29-0 to Coleman. Then it got 35-0, 2-point try, no good. 35-8 was your final. 470-122 in total yards. The Bills get the 6 seed. And the Jaguars with the 3 seed. Tennessee did score first. Ward to Iamainer from 39, the big chunk. A few plays later, Ward in from 7-0. Was there a moment there at 7-0 where you're like, oh boy?
Yeah. I mean, look, it was early.
Yeah.
I was very aware it was early, but yeah, it's the Jags.
But Tennessee does that. It seems like Tennessee has done that 9 times this year where they score first. Then it was all Jacksonville. 7 plays, 67 yards. Trevor to Parker Washington from 23 out. Then Ward went out of the game with an injury. Brandon Allen was in. A little later, Jacksonville 82 yards. Trevor to Strange from 7 out, 14-7. Then Allen got picked by Antonio Johnson, 58 yards of the house, 21-7. Next time Jacksonville had the ball, Trevor to Quentin Morris from 5 out, 28-7. Turnover on downs. Jacksonville got the ball with 3 seconds left in the half, and Cam Little sunk a 67-yard field goal.
It's awesome.
There's a weapon for the playoffs. 31-7 at the half. It would end 41-7. By the way, the Jaguars decided they only put Nick Mullins in for the last drive and a half of this game. Like, Trevor Lawrence was in there well beyond this game was settled.
I never really have a problem with it, Gil. It's the whole NBA thing too. You're like up 20, but the game's important enough that you need to win it.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying it's always fascinating to see how coaches play the final game.
Oh, completely. Because I mean, when we get to the Texans, right? Like every coach handles this differently.
So this is the first game on Sunday of the triple header on Sunday. It's the 6th-seeded Bills and the 3rd-seeded Jaguars. I guessed Jaguars -1.5.
Me too.
And my guess was I'm not going to make it the full 3 because Josh Allen exists. So I don't want to be. I want to be cognizant of that. But the Jags should be the favorite. And then it came out. And let me just say this: I was right when I guessed Chicago last night. It was Green Bay. That line has come towards me. This one, when I guessed the Jaguars -1.5, I couldn't believe Buffalo's the favorite. And they still the favorite?
It came down a little bit later last night, but no, man, it's 1.5 pretty much everywhere on the Buffalo side right now.
This is a disrespectful line to me.
I'm with you. I hate it. I kind of hate the idea. Jags are the other leg of that teaser I brought up, so it's Jags and Packers in a teaser for me, and then I bet Jags money line too. I bet it's small. I guess there's no reason to. I mean, especially as we're seeing this morning, I don't think there's any reason to rush. I played even on the money line though a little bit. I'm with you. I thought Jags would be 1.5, 2-point favorites. You know how much I love Josh Allen, but it's Josh Allen and a bunch of nothing on that Buffalo side. You got a defense that Trevor Lawrence should be able to carve up. And we'll see. We'll see what this Jags D can do to slow down Buffalo.
I just want to say it again. The Jaguars winning the AFC South and ending up with a 3 seed is one of the more incredible things ever because the Jaguars, again, finished the season. Well, let's just put it this way. Houston played Jacksonville, and Houston won, and it was the first of a 9-game winning streak to close the season for the Texans. So when the Texans beat the Jaguars that week, they then got to within 1 game of the Jaguars. And if you told the Texans, guess what? That's the first of a 9-game winning streak to the end of the year. You're clearly going to win the division, right? Of course, Jacksonville wins their last 8 and never lets them get the division.
It's insane.
It's incredible.
And we could talk about the competition all we want. It's still 8 in a row. It's wild.
Wrong team favored. I bet the Jaguars.
Yep, me too. Agreed.
It's as simple as that. Love you, Josh Allen, but come on. Some respect on the Jaguars' name. Let's go. Coming back on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is A Numbers Game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 2 of A Numbers Game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube, TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. Radio's Gil Alexander. Television's Kelly Bidlin.
Hey,
On one little radio program and TV program. We get tweets beating the book as we continue through Wild Card Weekend here. Johnny Vegas, amazing how the last half dozen people find a way to come up with $500,000 plus to hedge on Survivor. One can assume poker players, etc., find out who doesn't have that kind of jack and stake them for a percentage of the end result. Yeah, or they do it a few weeks before anyway, as well.
it is wild, though. It is wild. Every time we talk about it, it is like, coming up with that much cash is not that easy for everybody, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I asked what I asked the first segment. Colin Murphy, a good hedging strategy for that Miami ticket that the guy was talking about is take Ole Miss to score first. You get a nice plus price. And if it hits, then you can just sit back and maybe scoop both. If not, you're getting a nice big number in play with the points and the money line. Yeah, but it's not a perfect hedge, right?
I get what he's saying, though.
But I get
creative.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Because Miami goes up, and then you're just betting back on Ole Miss.
Brad Payton, our betting exchange is subject to the new 90% loss deduction rule as sportsbooks, given that they are regulated through the commodities market. Best tax law show on radio. Best to you, Kelly, and the crew. I may let you down here by saying I'm not really sure 100%, but I would assume they are. Maybe I shouldn't assume.
I don't think so.
Because it's regulated under different... because on the commodities exchange.
All right.
The commodities...
That's where, like, you and Bill were talking last week, and carry over the losses year to year, too.
Yeah, the commodities board oversees the poly market and Kalshi, those prediction markets. Others are applying for licensing under the commodities exchange. So, yeah, it could be very different. I don't know with 100% certainty, though, so let me just be honest about that.
Also, I don't know 100% what's going on with Polymarket, because they're not... I just got added to their waiting list, like, yesterday. I hopped on there. Like, they're not fully operational in the U.S. yet. That's been going back and forth for, like, months. So I don't really know. I don't really know how many we have up and running.
Steve Cohen at the Steve Cohen 21, not to be confused with other Steve Cohens. Gil, Kelly, won my Ravens won't make the playoffs bet, but it was a sweat. Was inspired to make the bet after your early December shows, pre-Metcalf suspension. London Steve. Steve listening to us from London town.
Hey, Steve.
How you doing, Steve? What's happening, man?
Oh, Chris Foster's on Polymarket. There we go. He got early access.
Chris Foster. Deep thoughts. You got to have deep thoughts, though, to get on there. Deep thoughts with Chris Foster. 3JackH3131. Have these NFL teams seen how the Chiefs' offense look this year? Why on earth would anyone go after Matt Nagy? This is why franchises continue to suck. Bad decision-making. I'm with you, 3Jack. Harold Irving. Were the establishments Bob Kraft and Deshaun Watson frequented called parlors? That's true. That's true. Although, did Deshaun, in fairness, did Deshaun actually... he did. It's a different kind of parlor. That's right.
I know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I think he had, parlors, private massages. I think he was all over the place with those, yeah.
Ioyas, S69. I would have serious trepidations betting on any football game with any of the refs from the Bucks-Panthers game. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, you have to pause because can you trust this officiating crew? Like I said, Dolphins-Jets this year on a Monday night, and that game Saturday between the Panthers and Bucks. Those were the only two games, right, where I'm the first guy to be like, oh, stop with your conspiracy, right? Those are the only two games where I have to just sit there and be like, I can't even say a word to you guys. Mm-hmm. Michael Burns, didn't the Jags take out Trevor after he hit 4,000 yards? Oh, is that what happened? I was not aware of that.
I figured it was part of the
That's what
reason.
they did? Okay. Brandon Webb, for the question about who on host analysts, NFL positions, he says Wes Reynolds, head coach. Jason Weingarten, GM. Oh, no. Really? Jason? Warren Sharp, offensive coordinator.
Well, that would be Jason Weingarten being GM would definitely be the most interesting
It
possible
would certainly be.
answer.
We love Jason. I would love to see Jason's picks for roster construction. Warren Sharp, OC, it troubles me because Warren would never get to play in on time. He'd be like, well, 12, 13, 11, but this team doesn't do it. It's like then the clock. Aaron Rodgers would start screaming at him. All right, next.
All right, next up, we have Sunday afternoon, 4:30 Eastern, 49ers at Eagles.
6-seeded Niners, 3rd-seeded Eagles. So the Niners, remember, went into the weekend, could have had the number 1 seed if they beat the Seahawks. That would have pushed the Rams to a 6 seed. Seahawks would have been the 5th, but instead, the Rams get the 5. Seahawks obviously get the 1 with the win, and the Niners end up with a 6, and they travel, to number 3 Philly. In case you missed it on Saturday, Seahawks got all the way to 1st and goal at the 1 after a PI in the end zone from Diamador Lenoir on JSN. This was the weirdest sequence. Darnold took a sack. He missed Charbonnet wide open in the flat, didn't see him. Tatum Bethune sacks Darnold on 1st down. 2 Charbonnet rushes and a timeout wasted in between. 4th and goal at the 4. Darnold throws way outside looking for Cooper Kupp. No chance. Turnover on downs. I got a text from Joe Pita right in that moment, and you could only read it in Vince Lombardi's voice. What the hell is going on? I don't know. That was weird. Anyway, San Francisco was pinned, the 3 and out, so Seattle got the ball back at San Francisco 35 after a face mask. 3 plays. Charbonnet in from 27 on 3rd and 2, 7-0 Seahawks. Next time Seattle got the ball, Myers 47-yard field goal wide right. But then San Francisco 4th and 1 at the Seattle 39. Purdy incomplete, intended for Juszczyk. Seattle would turn that into a Myers 45-yard field goal, 10-0 Seahawks, 5:19 left in the second quarter. And then Pinheiro would cut it to 10-3. Niners would get on the board in the first half. That would be the score at the half. Second time Seattle got the ball in the second half, 3rd and 17, after Darnold fell and Charbonnet recovered the botched handoff 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Kenneth Walker for 19 yards on 3rd and 17. That might have been the play of the game right there. Then to Jackson Smith and Jigba for 19, to Charbonnet for 12. At this point, by the way, through 3 quarters, total yards in this game, 268 to 105. Mm-hmm. That led to a Myers 31-yard field goal, 13-3 Seahawks, early 4th quarter. And then San Francisco, Purdy to Kittle for 20 to start. Then then Purdy for 11. End up 2nd and goal to 6. Purdy slightly behind McCaffrey on a deflection by Boye Mafe. Bounces off McCaffrey to Drake Thomas of the Seahawks. And so the Niners had any chance. It was snuffed out with that in a goal-to-go situation. Seattle then from their own 3 got to the San Francisco 3. They took a delay. And then Myers doinked a 26-yard field goal try off the right upright. But it didn't matter. Seahawks win it 13-3. They get the NFC West. They get the number 1 seed. Niners all the way down, once again, to a 6 seed. And there was the Eagles, by the way. We won't go through it, but the Eagles lose to the Washington Commanders yesterday, 24-17. It was Tanner McKee as the starting quarterback for the Eagles yesterday. They still wanted to win it, and they still could have gotten to the 2 seed because the Bears lost, but it wasn't to be. As Washington beats Washington always, the Washington Eagles series always seem to end in a split. Feels that way anyway. But it will be the Eagles with everybody. And here's the deal with the Niners. So keep in mind, so everybody's going to say, oh, the Niners look so bad on Saturday. There was no Ricky Pearsall. More importantly, there was no Trent Williams. Both of those guys will be playing this week. And the Trent Williams factor cannot be underestimated. So I guessed on this, right? Because, again, the Eagles are the Super Bowl champions, and that was the last view that the whole nation got to see of the Niners, was this terrible performance against Seattle. I said Philly minus 4.5. Now, at the time, Philly was only a 3-point favorite. It's coming my way, I'm told.
Yeah, we're 3.5 pretty much everywhere. I jumped on a Philly 3.
I like the Niners. I jumped on a Niners 3.5. I don't know. This is one of those games. If you told me Philly blew them out, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be.
No.
But if you told me the Niners won it in a close game, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean,
either.
look, it's the Eagles, right? I've been bashing this team all season. You've got more talent than pretty much anybody in the NFC, we think. You haven't been able to put it together. It's been limited weeks in a row where you've put things together offensively and defensively. I think I completely understand what you're saying of a week of overreaction from what happened with the Niners Seahawks, but I think this Philadelphia defense yes, it's worse than Seattle, but how much further worse? I don't think it's that much further down. So if you have that and then the Niners kind of gaps on defense, I think the Eagles might be able to attack better than Seattle.
I can't deny any of that.
I like it. I've got bets this week. Gil, I'd be lying to you if I told you any of them were big, though. But the most heavily I'm invested is on the Jacksonville side. And sorry, Jaguars, you've not done much in the history of me betting you to inspire too much money on that.
Let's put it this way: the Jags-Buffalo spread is the only one that surprised me.
That's how I would.
But it wasn't the
it.
only one that it wasn't the only one that induced a bet, though. Mm-hmm. Right. So
yeah, like I thought Philly would be 3.5. I was prepared to bet them at 3.
Yeah, I bet. So far, I bet Chicago -1. I took Jacksonville plus the points. I'll stick them on the money line. San Francisco plus 3.5. Like I like all three of them. I really do.
You know what's a little bizarre to me?
And I like one of them even more coming up.
Like, okay, cool. We've got the Texans are out of their Saturday window, right?
Yeah.
What's the most important? Okay, what's the most important game? Where do you put the biggest time matchup of Super Wildcard Weekend?
What do I think is the most marquee matchup?
What's the most marquee time slot?
The late Sunday.
Late Sunday night, right?
Yeah, I think
we haven't talked about this
Although
game
some
yet.
people would say late Monday. I mean, some people would say the Monday game too.
No,
I'd say late Sunday.
You're right, but I think most people would say Sunday night.
Yeah.
You surprised the Sunday night game? I am a little bit. I thought 49ers, Eagles, or Packers, Bears would be in that slot.
I am, to your point, although I find the Sunday night game, which we are about to get to me is the one I'm looking forward to. My bet the most.
I bet.
And it's the most fascinating. We're talking about the Chargers and the Patriots.
I haven't seen any of Gil's bets. I haven't seen any of his accounts. I will book any action out there if you want to tell me what Gil's betting on and if you're wrong. I will bet every dollar in my pocket right now. I know what Gil's on.
That's right.
There's not much of that.
I wonder what Gil's betting. A whole season doesn't tell us what he's betting on this. Coming back on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Boomers Sportsbook, Nevada's newest sportsbook, offering a first deposit match up to $250 in bonus bets. How about that? All you got to do is put in the offer code VSIN250. Scan the QR code to learn more. Once again, Nevada's newest sportsbook, Boomer Sportsbook. First deposit match up to $250 in bonus bets as long as you use the offer code VSIN250. Check it out. Check it out. We get tweets beating the book. Y'all are the best. Seriously. Jason Stark, I don't understand why you guys are saying the Bills are Josh Allen and nothing else when James Cook led the league in rushing.
Okay, sorry. Josh Allen, the offensive line, and James Cook. And Dalton Kincaid's back now. That's everybody.
Bills fans do not like it when anything negative is said about the Bills.
I mean, there is. You have worked with me for how many years now, Gil? I'm going to keep it real when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. I love Josh Allen.
Yes, you do.
And look, we said it from midseason, right? There's no Ravens. There's no Chiefs. There is no Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in your way, Josh. Go get it. Go get it. I don't trust any of these teams in the AFC. You could easily do it. I would not be shocked at all if it happened.
Last name Nash. Incentives betting is overblown nowadays. It's all about hitting milestones now. Josh Allen took one snap and left. Lawrence left after hitting the 4,000-yard mark. Devontae Smith left after hitting the 1,000 receiving yards mark. What is the because people you think are betting? Oh, people are betting incentives. That's their narrative. You're saying,
or how long people play?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, not on this show. We don't talk about it that much. Real quick, can we go to some games? Before we continue with the actual playoff games?
I got one more coach out. Who would be the least shocking one to be fired today? Gil Alexander.
Least shocking?
Yeah, the least shocking, because he's gone.
Aaron Glenn?
That guy down the road. Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's done.
Pete Carroll's gone. Okay. Rap sheet, Ian Rappaport. Raiders have fired Coach Pete Carroll, officially one and done. Tom Brady in the building today, and GM John Spytek will run the search for the new head coach. Rumored Brian Flores. First name in the rumor mill. That'd be a heck of a hire.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll. What was your favorite moment of the Pete Carroll era here in Las Vegas?
I don't know, man. Him getting kind of excited yesterday was entertaining, though.
That was probably it.
Do you think he still has it's okay, he's probably still got his office in Seattle he can go back to. You remember that weird story?
Oh, yeah.
When he left,
kept an office in the
they're
building.
like, we're going to keep an office for him. He's going to hang out here. It's like really weird. Like, all I remember is the same year was him and Saban, right? Saban, they did the same thing with. Guess what? It makes a lot more sense for Nick Saban to still have an office in Alabama than Pete Carroll having one in Seattle.
That'd do. By the way, games that had no playoff significance yesterday, but just a brief note on all of them. So Dallas at the Giants. When the Giants beat Dallas, that clinched the number 1 pick for the Raiders. I thought was interesting, by the way, they took Dak out at halftime, which I thought was interesting. Joe Milton came in. So the Raiders got the number 1 draft pick, which meant the Raiders got to actually try to win willy-nilly, right, against the Chiefs. And they did, with a pretty exciting finish if you enjoy 14-12 games with field goals being traded. Butker to put the Chiefs up 12-11 in the last with 1:01 left, and then Carlson 60-yard field goal to win it for the Raiders. And Pete Carroll goes out with a win. Thanks, Pete. See you later. Pete Carroll. We shouldn't in any way belittle the man's coaching career. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
USC, say what you will, and Seattle. Didn't work out here. And then the other 2 games that had no consequence, but we probably should just touch on for a moment. Atlanta, which did actually have consequence, right, against New Orleans. Atlanta's win created the 3-way tie, which allowed Carolina to get into the playoffs. That was a game late, 16-10 Atlanta. New Orleans from their own 25. 3rd and 7 at the Atlanta 20. Shuck got picked by D. Alford, returned at 59 yards. That set up the Gonzalez 38-yard field goal, which made it a 9-point game. And then when Shuck hit Ronnie Bell from 16 out with a one-handed catch, so many one-handed catches yesterday to make it 19-17, that then came down to an onside kick, which the Saints, of course, didn't recover, and that was that in that one. That put the Panthers in the playoffs at 8-9. So there was that. Raheem Morris gets fired after that game. Tyler Shuck, though, in the Offensive Rookie of the Year market, Kelly, 15-1. Now, so Teteroa McMillan is minus 1,000 to win NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Travion and Jackson Dart are both 9-1. Shuck is then 15-1, and Emeka Egbuka, it's like he didn't even exist, 120-1. Do you think that these numbers reflect reality in any way? Should Teteroa McMillan be minus 1,000? And by the way, let me just say, Teteroa McMillan, we were talking about when he was in college how great he was. So if you went back to us then, we'd be like, of course he should be minus 1,000.
Oh my God, that was my biggest draft bet. Was him going top 10.
But based on, should he be that big of a favorite? Like if Jackson Dart won this, would you be shocked?
Okay, so no. Is that who your next guy is, though? It's Dart?
Well, they ended up winning a couple games down the stretch.
I know.
Right? So the whole Tyler Shuck thing about, he won all these games. Well, he didn't win that many more than Jackson Dart did, and Jackson Dart's stats are way better. So forget Shuck.
They're better.
Shuck should not even exist in this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The way better is a little bit out the window now. He did catch up a little bit. I was just looking at those.
Yeah, but not when you throw in running stats.
No, the rushing stats, yes.
And I don't know if you know this, but you're allowed to rush as a quarterback. And so, I mean, I think Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck should be boxed out by Jackson Dart, in my opinion. But does that mean that, I'm not saying Teteroa McMillan isn't going to win this. He just shouldn't be minus 1,000.
I agree. I don't see a world. I don't know if I see a world where Travion Henderson is really that live in this.
I don't think so either.
I mean,
I don't think so either. I think it's Teteroa McMillan or Jackson Dart.
Like, anybody watch the game yesterday? Like, the big plays were coming from a different running back, even. Like, it's... I don't know, man. I think it's McMillan. I think it's going to be McMillan, but I hear you. I would not be listing him at minus 1,000.
Real quick, since we're on the subject of awards, can we show the Offensive Player of the Year update as well? Offensive Player of the Year, which we did the blind resume last week, and then we threw out the stats of the top 4 folks in that market. Now this is updated. First of all, here's the market. Jackson Smith-Njigba is minus 3,000 to win Offensive Player of the Year. Here is we won't make it blind anymore. Here are the final stats for the 4 top candidates for this award. As we just mentioned, Smith-Njigba is minus 3,000. Puka Nakua's stats are better by a hair, but they are better than that of JSN. But JSN plays on the number 1 seed. Puka ends up on the team that ends up with the number 5 seed. Maybe that matters. Maybe they don't. But Puka had 10 more catches, had, 78 fewer yards, and ended up with 1 more touchdown. It's real. Like, those stats are really even. McCaffrey's not going to get this. He finished with a whimper. He's going to be the comeback player of the year. And Bijan had finished with a whimper, but Bijan, in terms of total yards from scrimmage, crushes everybody, right? With over 2,300 yards from scrimmage. So I don't know. I think Puka right now at current odds might actually be a bet.
I don't think it's bad. It was pretty much the same number a week ago.
Well, Puka's 13-1, but we just showed the stats.
Right.
They are the exact same stats.
So like he was 14, 15-1 like last week.
If not better. And then he had, how many great catches did he have yesterday to go out? He was sick yesterday.
This is going to be my point. He was around the same number last week, and he clearly had a better week than JSN. Yeah. So I can't argue the number. I think JSN wins it, though, and he should win it. That's how I feel.
He's been awesome.
Yeah.
He's their number 1 guy. He's their only wideout of any note.
Right.
So I wouldn't care.
I mean, you're talking about replacing Metcalf and Lockett there this season. Like, I know I've said it so many times, but like he was the only dude when we were going into the season where you're like, well, we got to cover him.
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody else on this roster. And you knew that from game 1, and he went out there every week and had a massive season.
Here's my counter. ... but, Puka. He's just incredible.
Puka.
He's incredible. Either one. Either one
and
can
you know
win
what's
it.
an unfair? Here's an
and the reason I say either one can win it, and so therefore the value is on the 13-1. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
Yeah.
The unfair pushback to Puka is this: Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams.
Yeah, but Devontae was banged up, and everything you're saying is correct. I think it's all true, right?
Gil, ask me who do I think is the best wide receiver in football? Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I know.
That's who I think it is.
That's what I'm saying.
I also don't know, though, like, if someone tweeted us right now, hey, McCaffrey what was he last week in this market? Like 2-1? Should one game change him from that to 75-1?
No, but it's like we already said he wasn't going to get it because of comeback player of the year, and he had to do something else to. No, the odds are ridiculous.
I don't know that comeback's locked in.
And by the way, regular season MVP, Matthew Stafford -180, Drake May +150. I think Stafford's going to win it. I really do. Lifetime Achievement Award. I could be wrong.
Yeah, look, we get a lot of these questions all the time, Gil. When this market readjusted, I did buy on some May last night at +150.
Okay.
45-1, I locked up money. It will be a happy award season for me regardless.
Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get Aaron Schatz in here this week. He's an awards voter. We'll try to glean some info from him. He's 1 of 50. Maybe we'll try to get Mike Sando in here. He's 1 of 50. Get his thoughts. See how much they're willing to reveal. Tom Pelissero also reporting Tom Brady in the Raiders facility today as he prepares to take on a bigger role in the team's football operation along with his college teammate, GM John Spytek. So Tom Brady, while still doing Fox, this is getting weird. Still going to be on broadcast, but apparently bigger role with the Raiders. Coming back on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Hey, don't forget to check out the Sharp Plays Unmatched Transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, and alerts directly from the pros. Scan the QR code on your screen for more. SharpPlays.com. Check them out. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin here on a numbers game. Live from Circa. James at the James Lloyd. I'm behind today and just heard your rundown of the Panthers game. I was screaming at the TV so loud, I'm sure my neighbors heard me. So fire trucking bad officiating. So fire trucking. I know what you mean. Torch D, the one who put the satin on your panties. Here's why I suck at gambling, he says. It's March 10th, 2025, and Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the Steelers. I instantly bet the Steelers to win the Super Bowl at 50-1. The odds today, 60-1. Hey, man, you're not the only one who does stuff like that. James Fessler.
Some of these awards odds we're going over, right? You're like, It's like Christian McCaffrey was what? All of 5 days ago to be an offensive player of the year? 75-1.
Yeah.
Now.
These, again, awards numbers, we have no idea if they reflect reality with these voters. James Fessler, Mizzou Soldier. Chargers at Patriots Sunday night slot is a pure media eyeball grab. West Coast, East Coast, major market's going to be a huge ratings number. Oh, yes, it will be. And Brian Thomas points out Robert Kraft is chairman of the NFL's media committee, and you'll see over the years The Patriots have always had a very favorable time slot for their playoff.
Well, I mean, that
games.
that one I buy more than we're rushing to get the Chargers involved in this game.
Chris Heath, so which team gets worst record win? Do books do a chop? Yes, they do, but always check the rules in case there's some funky tiebreaker they got going. But usually it's a chop. Coach Harry Ellis. Pete Carroll's the third best football coach of this century when you combine college and pro, and arguably the best when you consider Saban's NFL failure and Belichick's UNC debacle. He deserves no shade. Coach Harry Ellis, you are correct. That is why I said what I said. iHeart SEC podcast. On the incentive note, Von Miller needed 2 sacks over the last 2 games for a $1 million bonus. Got a sack with 17 plus 350. Sack week 18 plus 250. Parlayed with Garrett to get a sack plus 375. There was too much numbers that I didn't understand right there, but yes. Kelly and I were talking about incentive, this notion of we don't do it on this show, right? But we hear a lot of folks talking about, incentives like they've discovered some thing that's never been discovered before. We rarely, it's very narrative-ish with that stuff. Not as much in reality do teams focus so much when they can. Actually,
I tried to bring up a few last week to be aware of. Like, I think they're definitely good to be aware of, know what's in play, and some of them are easier to control, right? Like, it took,
you can control Trevor Lawrence. You can't control someone getting a sack.
Can't control Myles Garrett, right?
That's
5 weeks ago, we were all thinking this was done and dusted. He was going to break the sack record, no problem. Man, it took till 5 minutes left in the final week of the season.
Well, that's the only other game we didn't talk about, which had nothing to do with the playoffs, but it was 17-12 game. Cleveland is up. And Cincinnati first and 10 at the Cleveland 45 with 5:16 left. Remember, Myles Garrett was supposed to have cracked this record some time ago, most sacks in a season. He was stuck on 22 and a half was the record. Both Michael Strahan and TJ Watt sharing it. And Garrett sacks Burrow for the record. Now, a couple things. One, by the way, Myles Garrett minus 20 bajillion to win the Defensive Player of the Year. Joe Burrow, not quite Brett Favre-esque, but a little bit of I'll just fall down here. A little bit of that. It's a good move by Myles Garrett. I'm not saying it was Favre-esque, but I'm just saying there was a little of that.
Danny and I disagreeing, I think, during the break. Pro quarterback back there. He thought he should have stood in there and took the shot.
Yeah.
Like, Myles Garrett worked that offensive tackle. He was getting there no matter what.
It's awesome. I'm glad for Myles Garrett. I'm glad he did it. 5 minutes left in the season. He gets it.
And Burrow saved your life. Like, I'm not going to blame Burrow for that.
But I'm with Zach Taylor, who, by the way, is retaining his job with the Cincinnati Bengals, in case you missed it. Zach Taylor and the Bengals, all like Jamar Chase was sort of livid about this after. I don't know, livid might be strong, but he was kind of annoyed by this afterwards. They were like, why did we stop the game? We were like trying to like do tempo. Zach Taylor said, no one told me this was the plan to stop the game. And I kind of agree. It's like, I'm trying to think, like, was the sack record, the season sack record, this like hallowed thing in the annals of NFL history that we stopped the game? Was it?
I mean, and like, I guess we've seen this before at certain milestones,
wait
right?
A minute. If someone got the interception record, would they have stopped the game?
I don't know. I'm not saying they should have.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm absolutely saying they should not have stopped the game. I thought it was ridiculous as well. But, like, yes, it's a hallowed record. I would say that.
Okay, I guess. And again, the guy who had Cincinnati Survivor, I hope he made money because that Survivor entry lasted 19 quote-unquote weeks, 59 minutes and 57 seconds before Schmidt's 49-yard field goal to win it for the Browns. Okay, hold on. More tweets. Sorry about the cough. It's the last remnants of the cold, guys. Taylor McKenzie. I found Dart 20-1 Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's a bet, he said. Yeah, I think it is.
I don't hate it, man.
3 Jack. I keep pounding the drums for Jackson Dart. He says, keep pounding the drum for Jackson Dart, please. I grabbed 20-1 at halftime yesterday for Offensive Rookie of the Year, hoping that New York media bias kicks in. It might. Robert, Square Bob 2022. Circa has a no on Miami minus 380, and they'll take $76,000. What are we talking about there?
No idea.
No idea. Thomas O'Toole, did I miss the talk about you guys cashing your preseason Steelers AFC North Champions tickets? What?
Which one? What was that?
Steelers to win the AFC North? I didn't have that.
I did.
Kelly did.
I did, but I also had the Ravens. I just took both at plus prices.
Yeah, both
So
at
it was a small winner for me.
All right, last thing about the awards before we get back into the games.
That also might just be ripping on us because we always bet against the Steelers. I don't really know.
I don't always. I did 1 year. It's you.
It's me. I was
Throw
on
me
the
into it.
Steelers this year.
Don't give me that. We got to get to that game. Oh, last thing about the awards, because I want to point this out. Kelly, you and I have had, talk about Coach of the Year now. You and I have Mike McDonald tickets to win Coach of the Year.
I know. I'm emotional about it too, buddy.
I have it at 9-1. You have it at better numbers.
10 and 20, I think.
Okay. So in the end now, the regular season is over, and these are still bettable. That's why we're still talking about it. Mike Vrabel is minus 400 to win NFL Coach of the Year. This is at DraftKings. Our Mike McDonald of the Seattle Seahawks is plus 450.
10 and 23.
Your odds. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Liam Cohen plus 950 of the Jaguars. Everybody else 50 to 1 or longer. Okay. And I agree, Kyle Shanahan didn't get the number 1 seed. Probably not going to talk about him anymore. We have gone a full season. We've had this Mike McDonald ticket. I would say that you and I have done a really good job of not stumping for this ticket, right? We always said, all year long, we've said, we have a really good bet that we don't think is going to get home.
Yeah.
Okay?
There's a lot of good candidates.
So I would like to take this moment to finally say, why is our ticket not going to get home? Mike Vrabel, Mike McDonald, both teams' preseason, pre-flop season win total was 8.5. Both of them. Juiced to the under in both cases. Both of them ended up with a 14-3 record. The Seahawks got the number 1 seed in a tougher NFC. Vrabel got the 2 seed with a simple schedule in the easier AFC.
With a MVP quarterback.
And quote unquote. And Mike McDonald, a defensive coach, ended up coaching his team to have given up the fewest points in the NFL this season. Mm-hmm. Why is Mike McDonald not going to win Coach of the Year and Mike Vrabel is? Someone please tell me why.
Look, the odds shortened up. It's gotten closer, Gil.
But it's not that close.
It's gotten closer. I'm with you. It should be. It
should be Mike McDonald.
I think in reality, it's even closer. I grabbed some Liam Cohen at 20 to 1 on Saturday as well. I think he's in this conversation. Okay, where are we? Because last week we were saying there was, 5 guys still left in this, we thought. Where are we down to now? Is it down to 3? I'm going to bring up his name again. Are we sure Ben Johnson's out of this conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
What did Mike Vrabel do that was any better than what Mike McDonald is? In fact, I would argue the opposite. It just feels like Mike McDonald doesn't have the sociology, the Q rating, the Q score. Mike Vrabel, he's just not talked about as much.
Well, he took a team with fewer wins a season ago. Right?
Kelly Bidlin, this guy next to me, if I'm not mistaken, you were convinced Seattle was going to finish in last in that division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I bet that
you weren't alone. And so, and all of a sudden, we don't. The way that our minds work, somehow the season has made people think, oh, the Patriots were supposed to win like 4 games, and the Seahawks were supposed to win like 10. It's not true. They both had an 8.5 season win total. They both went 14-3. One ended up the number 1 seed. One gave up the fewest points in the NFL. The other guy had a simple schedule. So, by the way, this one guy, Doug Tuttle on Twitter says, let's get into Defensive Rookie of the Year, please. Doug, I don't have much to say about. Do you have much to say about Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Sure. Danny, throw up that graphic if you can.
By the way, Doug didn't tell us what he has either.
So Schlesinger has come down to minus 650. James Pierce Jr.,
who the Falcons traded a first-round pick for next year, plus 370.
Thought you were about to say something else. All right, James Pierce Jr., where was he at like a week ago? I feel like this is being pretty heavily bet.
I have no idea. What did you think I was going to say?
No, nothing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Just another word that starts with F.
We'll get back into the games, starting with that Chargers-Patriots game. On the other side, it's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers game live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin, alongside on this Monday morning. I'll say again what I said at the beginning of the show. I just want to appreciate every minute of these 2 weeks with all these football teams and college football playoffs still going on, because in about 2 weeks, then it's reduced to just the NFL Final Four, and it feels like it's over already. So I just want to just enjoy every moment of this. We'll get back into the games here. Just want to read a few more tweets. Sean's Fox plays. The best incentive play was Dowdle needing 7 yards for a $1 million incentive. We all knew he was going to get it, but he only got 10 yards and didn't get the last one until the fourth quarter. Now, if the books could only let me bet 10 yards rushing, easiest under all year. Oh, meaning that it would take him out of the game once he got it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was looking for that too.
Jack O'Quire, Gil had a great time with my brothers here at Circa yesterday watching the celebration. Survivor's a challenge, an event like no other. Even got me to meet Derek. What a true gentleman. Looking forward to next year already. Met Derek Stevens, the old O'Quires did. 3Jack H3131 chimes in again. Did I miss this already? Should Puka really be 19-1 for Offensive Player of the Year today? Is this a bet? 3Jack, I will state it even more forcefully than I did when we actually went over Offensive Player of the Year. I think if you were to ask me, what is the best single bet that exists right now, games, sides, totals, awards, whatever, Puka Nacua right now, Offensive Player of the Year at that number. I'm not saying he's going to win it, because I think it's him versus JSN. But there's no chance that that reflects reality. That Smith and Njigba should be minus 3,000 and Puka should be double digits. Are we serious about that? The stats are almost identical. If anything, Puka has an advantage. And Puka's making like one-handed ridiculous catches left and right. It's incredible. Paul Stanley. What, I'm sorry, what?
I think I'm adding an awards bet too, which is wild, man. Like I took
Though not that one. Which are you
no,
adding?
so I took I can't remember the last time I bet this many awards, made this many awards bets this late.
Because they're going to go down. They're going to go down. They're going to disappear.
I'm kind of surprised they're still
Me
up.
too. Me too.
Well, the May one was a hedge, so I guess that doesn't really count. Liam Cohen, though, added him for Coach of the Year at 20-1.
You added Pierce, you said?
And then I played the no on McCaffrey for comeback. And then I think
who do you think's winning comeback?
I think I'm betting James Pierce Jr. for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's plus 370. He has 10.5 sacks. That is good for 13th in the NFL. Like we're gonna give it to like a middle linebacker, a non-pass rushing linebacker in Cleveland, where they're already going to get a one award for that defense.
Yes, they are. That's true.
Do you know who past winners of the Defensive Rookie of the Year are, Gil? Jared Verse, pass rusher. Will Anderson, pass rusher. Sauce Gardner, interceptions. Micah Parsons, pass rusher. Chase Young, pass rusher. I could go on and on and on.
That point you just made, though, about are we really going to give the Browns 2 defensive awards?
Right.
I think that will stick in the craw of many voters.
I think it will, too.
I think it's a good point.
And you're obviously going Garrett.
And let me just say this about the Falcons, too. Everyone's like, oh, the Rams have the Falcons' first-round pick. They didn't make the playoffs. Oh, my God, so great for the Rams. You know what? Just look at those top 4 spots in Defensive Rookie of the Year. James Pierce Jr. is second and Xavier Watts is fourth. Mm-hmm. Those are the 2 guys, right, that they got for trading a number 1 pick, because Watts was used to make that third round. So they got a third-round pick in the deal, too, and Watts ended up being that third-round pick. Watts leads the Falcons in picks, and James Pierce leads them in sacks. So it ended up being a great deal for the Falcons in the end.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Gil would not remember this one as well, but there was much made during the NBA draft of the Pelicans shipping off next year's first-round pick to get Derek Queen. Everybody was like, that worst trade ever. You're giving up another first-round pick.
Worked out beautifully.
He's looking pretty good when he's been on the court so far. So I think it's still a bad trade.
And Doug Tuttle tells us that Pierce was 25-1 or 30-1 about 2 weeks ago. Okay, let's get back into it. Next.
Sunday night football. The Chargers of Los Angeles versus the Patriots of New England.
Wow, so dramatic.
Ooh, and Andy Molitor will be joining us in studio.
Coming up?
Yep.
All right.
In the next hour.
Then we got to get through the games then. 7-seed Chargers, 2nd-seed Patriots. Chargers yesterday lose to the Broncos, but it was Trey Lance as their starting quarterback for the whole game. 19-3 Broncos. And there's nothing really to get into in this game other than, are the Broncos the worst number 1 seed you can remember in modern history? Do you not worst? Do you feel, in your opinion, because they're not objectively the worst, but subjectively, do you feel like they're the worst?
Based off of Kelly Bidlin's memory, and this is going to be completely unfair, his memory that I can't even tell you what I ate yesterday, I'm going to say absolutely yes, Gil.
I'm going to say yes. And now a lot of people would counter and say that Tennessee team from a few years ago, but that Tennessee team...
Oh, no, that one. I'm going with that one.
No. Because remember, that Tennessee team didn't have their best players. Remember, Derrick Henry didn't play half the season. And
right.
what they did to get to the number one seed might have been more impressive than every number one seed.
Bo Nix or Ryan Tannehill?
They still had Ryan Tannehill, though. But that's the point, though. That Tennessee didn't have Henry for half a year.
Yeah.
I think Tannehill didn't even play for part of that, right?
Yeah. He was comeback player of the year again, right? I think he was.
Oh, was that the year he won it?
So.
And then they sacked Joe Burrow 9 times in the playoffs and still lost. It's this Broncos team.
Go quarterback game with me real quick. Bo Nix or Ryan Tannehill? At his prime. Tannehill at his prime. I don't know what that means, but
Oh, Nix, maybe. I don't know.
I'm going Bo Nix.
I'm going Bo Nix. I think I'm going Bo Nix.
We had to give Bo some love.
Anyway,
this year.
they held the one note, though, I do want to make on this. The Chargers held the Broncos yesterday to 240 total yards. And again, I am all about the Chargers defense. I think the Chargers defense is the most underrated defense in all of football. It will be Justin Herbert back in the lineup at New England. New England yesterday absolutely destroyed the Dolphins. First 3 plays of the game. Ramondre for 9, Ramondre for 56, Travion for 5, 7-0 Patriots, 53 seconds into the game. Next time they had the ball, 9 plays, 92 yards, May to Efton Chisholm the third, or the second, pardon me. The big play, 3 plays later, Ramondre in from 2, 14-0. Dolphins would get it to 14-7. Dolphins would actually get it to 14-10 at one point. But then New England from their own 32 with 24 seconds left in the half, no timeouts, made a booty for 13, May for 14, Borregales 59-yard field goal, 17-10. By the way, field goal, we do our annual breakdown of all the place kickers. That thing in the Jaguars-Bills game, Bills don't have a kicker. Prater got hurt yesterday, and Cam Little's hitting him from 67 is another part of that handicap.
Massive advantage.
It is. Couldn't tell if you were doing it sarcastically.
I mean, like I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Third quarter. I see. I think it is. I think we underrate that.
It is. How much is it reflected in a point spread?
No, I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it should be.
Okay.
Second half, Ewers picked by Jalen Hawkins. New England from their own 27 plays made to Ramondre from 15 out, 24-10. Next time New England had the ball, Ramondre in from 35, 31-10. Next time they had the ball, 5 plays made to Diggs for 34 to start. Travion in from 2 to end it, 38-10. That is the ball game. That would. The only other note that I want to say is that New England, to run out the clock, you know who they gave the ball to? Ernest Johnson from our Atlanta studios. Just wanted to point that we never got to say it all year long.
Oh, man.
We
well
finally
done,
got to say it.
That was one of your best lines for guessing lines all year.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks so much.
Especially since I had no idea what the answer was.
New England, my guess was New England minus 4.5, or maybe I was hoping it was 4.5. What did it end up being? 3.5, right?
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, I bet the Chargers. No surprise.
Yep.
How much money in your pocket were you betting with people?
I have $8 in my pocket. I was willing to lay every single one of those dollars down.
Good for you.
Not a good weekend.
That's very bold of you.
We did hit 4s, but this has settled in at 3.5.
This is the most fascinating game of Wild Card Weekend because it is the Patriots who played this wildly easy schedule, but crushed everybody, right? I know, didn't crush three times. I get it. But really, when they were winning, they were crushing. It's not their fault that was their schedule. I get it. But I feel like the Chargers are the most underrated team heading into the playoffs. I feel like I'm on an island with that. Maybe I'm not. But you've got this. I'll give you Josh Allen. I think you've got the second best quarter. I think you have 1B in terms of the best quarterback in the AFC playoffs. And I think you have the...
Who? Oh.
Justin Herbert. Yeah, you with the Justin Herbert hate.
No.
And I think you have the second or third best defense in the AFC playoffs behind the Texans. And who am I forgetting is the other one? Denver. Right. You're giving me more than a field goal, I'll happily take more than a field goal. And I did sprinkle on the money line with the Chargers here too.
Yep.
At plus 161. I didn't get the best number there, but that's what I got.
I would have bet anybody those $8 you were on that side. Nothing for me. It's a fascinating matchup, like you said. And I think I agree with you how you rank the defenses, by the way. I do agree with you there. So we'll see, man. This is going to be, look, Justin Herbert, step up and do something, bro.
You hate
Two-time.
You hate Justin
I
Herbert.
do not hate Justin Herbert.
You kick your-
I just think every year he escapes criticism somehow, while others just get destroyed.
One more game to get to, which is obviously the Monday night game, and we get to review last night's game finally. And that is the game, by the way, the Houston-Pittsburgh game, where I want nothing to do with that line pre-flop. I want nothing to do with the first one between the Rams and the Panthers, and I want nothing to do with the Texans-Pittsburgh game. But I made a bet on all the four in between. We will get into the Texans and the Steelers after last night's thriller. One of the best games of the year in the NFL. Coming up on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 3 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course SiriusXM Channel 158. Gil Alexander and Kelly Midland. Kelly Baidalan on Twitter.
That's right.
Phonetically. Still to come this hour, Adam Burke will join us in his regular Monday spot. I don't know, maybe he has a play on the FCS championship tonight.
The Berkster.
Remember Randy
Burkerino.
When Crackman was in last week, he gave out Randy McKay's pick on the FCS championship tonight. Illinois State plus 10.5.
I'm in on it.
And it's still there. Still at that number.
Yeah, that barely moved, right? Yeah, 10.5, still there.
Yeah, still there. We'll see if Adam has a thought on that. He's got college basketball. We'll get his thoughts on Wild Card Week. And we have another NFL coach firing. This is the fourth.
Wow.
This is the fourth now. The Arizona Cardinals are firing Coach Jonathan Gannon, sources say. That's according to Ian Rappaport at Rap Sheet. Endless losses to finish an injury-riddled season spelled the end of Gannon, who should be a top-tier defensive coordinator candidate now. So let us review. Started with Raheem Morris yesterday being fired by the Atlanta Falcons. Then this morning, Kevin Stefanski of the Cleveland Browns, Pete Carroll of the Las Vegas Raiders, and now Jonathan Gannon of the Arizona Cardinals. Did I miss anybody? Those four. We know that Zach Taylor is staying with the Cincinnati Bengals, but 4 coaches have already been fired. Our buddy Dave Ross, the co-host of By the Books, which precedes us, we love Dave. I love Dave. He's one of my favorite people ever.
Yeah, Dave, keep us updated.
He loves this kind of thing. Now, he always prefaces by saying, now, let's keep in mind, no one likes to lose their job. He always does that. But then he enjoys this kind of thing so much. We love that about Dave. But that's 4 NFL coaches, 4 ousted. And the Jonathan Gannon one, to me, is the most noteworthy because weren't there some folks thinking he could be coach of the year this year?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on my short list beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
But understandable, right?
I'm a little surprised by this. A little.
Well, I mean,
Not shocked,
Let's just
obviously.
review them real quick. Raheem Morris, yeah, you got way too much talent to not win that division.
Yep.
Okay, that's the first thing. Stefanski, yeah, I mean, how many years can you suck? Sorry. And the Deshaun Watson thing is now in the rear view. You can't keep going with that excuse. And I know you didn't get any favors when it came to quarterback throughout, but okay.
I still think he's good, Gil.
The thing is, his defense was great, you know.
I think everybody there, it's just time for a fresh start.
Pete Carroll, look, I mean, you couldn't have been worse. This team couldn't have been worse.
That was the easiest
And then
one.
Jonathan Gannon, I mean, look, that between Kyler Murray and I say it every week, their box scores, the Cardinals' box scores are the best players nobody knows about nationally. Like Michael Wilson and Trey McBride, like guys that just produce every week. They can't win a game to save their lives.
They were so injured down the stretch,
They
though.
were.
And then Kyler, like the whole season. I don't know. It just feels like
They were, but like Washington managed to win 5. They lost the most games to starter injuries, right? I don't know. Arizona, by the way, 15-36 under Jonathan Gannon, including losing 14 of its final 15 this season.
it's not ideal.
It's
It's not the way you want to play out.
I
a
would
season.
refer to it as suboptimal. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Paul Stanley. As a Chiefs fan, I knew how far we had fallen when I had no idea who the announcers calling the game were. On the good side, at least it wasn't Romo. Hey, Paul. Hey, man. Now you get to feel just for 1 week what it feels like for so many fans, so many other franchises. Uncle Bush, keep preaching, Kelly. He's got James Pierce at 20-1.
Good on you.
For defensive rookie of the year.
I'm betting it today. I cannot believe I'm making another awards bet, but I am.
NC I-95 gambler, I-95 stretching down the eastern seaboard. He's in Carolina. Said, hey, Gil, I don't know if people remember, but that future on Czechia, is live today on whatever is that tournament is called in the hockey juniors. They're in the final this afternoon. LFG, yeah, our buddy Jake Hahn gave that out last week, and of course I was too stupid to remember to play it.
The World Junior Championship.
Czechia, right?
Czech Republic?
Czechia.
Also known as Czechia, that we got confused about last week. I had to look it up. Apparently you can call them both. Plus 105 against Sweden, minus 130.
Brian Morianen. If Kelly wants more fan betting action on his bets, he needs to up his ante. All the money in his pocket and a lightly used spyglass should have been offered as well.
Probably been used more often than you would think.
He's right. He should have offered that. And 3Jack adds that Cam Little field goal kicker, as he said, that little field goal kicker is going to be the deciding factor in the AFC. My prediction, he says, took the Rams over the Jags in Super Bowl exacta 30-1.
I like it.
Let's book that. And O'Dall says, thank you. So awesome. Thank you, Gil, for the call from Atlanta, talking about D'Ernest Johnson. He says, my wife yelled down and asked if I was okay. Thanks for getting me through the hip replacement recovery. You two are the best. Oh man. Hope that goes quick. I'm told, though, that you feel like brand new afterwards. So just get through the tough part, Odell. D. Mark B. Offensive rookie year by the numbers, admittedly with a Henderson dog in the fight. He says, Travion, 1,132 yards, 10 touchdowns. McMillan, 1,014 yards, receiving 7 touchdowns. And Jeff Levine, Gil, you just haven't been paying attention. There has already been history made on the interception record. The Jets have stopped playing infinitely for a record that can never be beaten. Unreal. Jeff, Delaware Shore. Jeff, hope you're enjoying the Delaware Shore at this time of year. I know it's not the prettiest in January, but we mentioned that Jets record. It's incredible. It really is incredible. Like, of all the amazing things, of all the amazing stats we've ever given out, to go an entire football season, an entire professional football team never got a bounce.
I know.
Never got a deflection that they went right to somebody. Nothing is incredible. Not a pick all year.
Heard Patrick Maher bring this up on the Sharp Buddy podcast. Check it out. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. Somich and Maher doing a great job getting set for Wild Card Weekend. He also brought up, important to note, right? Head coach Aaron Glenn, like all-time great defensive back. Like, but your D-backs can't pick off one ball.
Let's do the last one. It's a great point.
Monday Night Football, Texans at the Steelers.
Number 5 seeded Texans at the number 4 seeded Steelers. No need to go through the Texans game. They did a little touch and go with Indianapolis for much of that game. Stroud was taken out early in the third quarter for Davis Mills. Texans still pull it out 38-30. I should mention, though, that it was 32-30, and a lot of people had in-game bets. And then a pitchy woo-woo gone bad, where Tommy Togiai scores for Houston 38-30.
Big man touchdown. Always fun.
Oh, a lot of people got screwed on
that.
that.
I had Texans in a 10-point teaser, so that was a little sweatier for me. Especially when you're like, Davis Mills comes in, right? Doesn't complete a pass in the third quarter. You're like, were you the only one that was surprised that you're playing today? Like, were you not ready for this?
All right, and then last night's game. The game for the AFC North. Steelers and Ravens. Baltimore. 8 plays, 86 yards to start. Net 26-yard run after a bogus, by the way, net 26-yard run to start after a bogus illegal block call on Zay on the first play from scrimmage. 7 plays later, 4th and 3 at the Pittsburgh 38. Lamar to Devontae Walker behind the defense. 7-0 Ravens, 10:54 left in the first quarter. Couple drives later for Pittsburgh. 4th and 1 at their own 45. They decide to go for it. Connor Haywood stopped for no gain. That led to a Baltimore field goal. Tyler Loop from 40, 10-0 Ravens early second quarter. Then Boswell, 57-yard field goal, pardon me, after a sequence in which Rodgers' footwork made him miss a wide-open MVS for a big gainer and then couldn't out-sprint Tavius Robinson to the corner. 10-3 Ravens. And then Pittsburgh, late first half, they have a double-dip chance, down 7. From their own 9, they matriculate the ball down the field. 3rd and 9 at their own 25, Rodgers for 20. Then they get it to 4th and goal at the 1 after a PI in the end zone. Seconds left. Do you go for it? Do you kick the field goal? That's the choice. They decide to go for it. Gainwell hit for a 1-yard loss by Gilman. Alohi Gilman. Do you have any problem with them going for it?
No.
I would have kicked the field goal knowing the double dip, but I have no problem with them going for it.
I felt the same way.
I didn't think it was like a big federal offense. Third quarter, Pittsburgh, from the start, 12 plays, 67 yards. On a drive where Baltimore lost Kyle Hamilton to a concussion, Rogers to Freiermuth for 14 on 3rd and 10 at their own 45. 2 plays later to Thielen for 28. 4 plays later, 4th and 1 at the Baltimore 2. This time Hayward gets the 1 yard, then another one into the end zone on 1st and goal. 10-10 with 8:23 left in the third quarter. Baltimore, nearly 10 minutes of game time without the ball now. 3rd play, 3rd and 10 at their own 34. Lamar pass batted down by Hayward, ricochets right into the hands of T.J. Watt. See, that's what I'm talking about with the Jets. You don't get a ricochet or anything. Pittsburgh set up at the Baltimore 26, 4th and 2 at the Baltimore 7. They decide we'll kick a field goal. Boswell, 25-yarder. 13-10 Steelers with 4:28 left in the third quarter. Lamar, 2 drives later. By the way, at this point, he's 4 of 9 for 29 yards in this game if you took out that one long touchdown pass at the beginning. Lamar to Zay for 15 to start. 3 plays later, 3rd and 4th, midfield. Lamar splits Alex Highsmith and Keanu Benton, who appear to have him sacked. Unbelievable escape. I've lost my place. Oh, yeah, direct Zay to go long. Perfect lofted pass for 50, touchdown. 17-13 Ravens, 8:42 left in the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh responds. 8 plays, 60 yards, 4:53 off the clock. From their own 40 after the ball was kicked out of bounds on the kickoff. 2nd play, sick 15-yard run by Jalen Warren. 3 plays later, Rogers dimed to Freiermuth for 31 on 3rd and 8 at the Baltimore 36. 3 plays later, Gainwell in from 2, but Rogers has to use their final 2 timeouts along the way. Communication issues. He's pissed. 20-17 Steelers with 3:49 left. Unbelievable. Pittsburgh's going to win it, right? Wrong. Baltimore with 3:43 left. All 3 timeouts from their own 27. Third play after replay assist somehow says Ricard was short on the previous down, or for the first down, short of the first down. I don't know how they reversed that. Lamar to Zay behind the defense again for 64. Touchdown, 24-20 Ravens with 2:20 left. Surely they're going to win. But no, Pittsburgh from their own 35, no timeouts, just a 2-minute warning. First play, Rogers to Austin for 17, to Thielen for 8, to Gainwell, who slips a tackle for 15 to the 26. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 at the 26. Awuzie slips and falls to the wide open Austin touchdown because he fell. 26-24 Pittsburgh with 55 seconds left. Boswell, extra point, slices right. Like my drives in golf. Only a second missed extra point in 4 years. Baltimore still with all 3 timeouts. Need a field goal to win. Keaton Mitchell returns the kickoff 42 yards, set up at their own 47. Lamar to Devontae for 7, 43 seconds left. Illegal formation sets him back. 2nd down. Lamar throws it past a wide open Hopkins on the sideline. 3rd and 7, avoids a sack but throws it away. 4th and 7 at midfield with 21 seconds left. Lamar, high to likely, stretches out as high as he can. What a catch for 26. Timeout. Lamar centers it.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Football meets flavor with VSiN and Omaha Steaks, the official sponsor of tailgating. And right now, when you spend $129, you can score 2 pounds of fully cooked chicken wings, plus 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com/VSIN. Don't wait, spend $129. Get 2 pounds of wings and save 50% site-wide on steaks and more at omahasteaks.com/VSIN. That's omahasteaks.com/VSIN. Minimum purchase required. See site for details. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Best listeners in the game. Montreal Max at Stardust Book says, Gil, you got the Gary Danielson treatment on his CBS farewell, where my VSiN feed through YouTube cut you off with 27 seconds left on the Ravens drive for the commercial break, right when you were in frenzy readback mode. I should have warned the affiliates. Poor Gary Danielson, 27 years, or however long he's been on. I'm sorry, that might not be the correct amount of years. But his farewell on CBS, and they cut him off. Oh, that's messed up. The numbers, guys. Gilly, tennis is back. A special thank you goes out to you and Zach. Mostly Zach, no offense. I'm 8-1 in 20 and 26. Oh, well, Zach's been doing it a few days longer than I have. I got into it this weekend. Yesterday, a 2-1 with 2 dogs hitting. Wu Yibing as a, I'll get the exact numbers for you here, Kelly.
Thank you.
But lost on Valentin Vachereau because we lost a tiebreaker, so I knew that wasn't going to go our way. That's never fun.
Not sure how many times I've told you to stop betting her, but, you know.
It's a him, but okay.
Or him. Or him and him.
Lost on Valentin Vachereau as a plus 158 dog to Sebastian Corda, but hit on Wu Yibing plus 125 versus Fabian Marozan, and then also on Kimberly Burrell at plus 117 versus Rebecca Stramkova. So tennis is back, baby. Let's do it.
What's the...
so pumped.
I walked in and saw them playing, Raducanu playing this morning.
Yes.
How do they dress this tournament up? Like it's like a nation thing?
Well, that's the United Cup. I'm not betting that
oh, okay.
because that's team tennis. I'm not betting that. I'm betting all the other ones in Brisbane, Hong Kong, Auckland.
I love that this time of year, Australia just gets it's just invaded by tennis tournaments.
That's right. Soon we'll be in Adelaide.
What are we, 3 weeks in a row?
And
or
then
three
Melbourne.
tournaments in a row?
Melbourne for the Aussie Open.
Melbourne. Adelaide's still the best city in Australia.
Auckland and Brisbane to Adelaide and Melbourne. Scott C. Gil, I love the Monday morning recaps. I hope you're with me saying you did get a little Todd turning blue trying to squeeze in the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game before break. That game was epic. Just epic. Think about that. What was it, like 13-10? And then it ends up...
Probably craziest quarter of the season. I'm not going to call it the best game of the season.
Lamar stepped it up when he had to.
Well.
He was like, oh, there he is. And Aaron Rodgers, listen, when you don't pressure Aaron Rodgers, he's still Aaron Rodgers. When there's no pressure on him, he can bring it back.
Yeah.
Square Bob 2022. Seahawks won 10 games in 2024. The Bears won 5. You say Ben Johnson doesn't have a chance. Explain how the turnaround from the Bears isn't at the same level as the Seahawks winning 4 more games. Somebody asked how to hedge their Miami Hurricanes ticket, circa no minus 380. Square Bob 2022 trying to clean up a few things. Ben Johnson was spectacular this year. Spectacular. And it might have been the greatest coaching job there is. But I was just making the comparison between Vrabel and McDonald. I don't think Ben Johnson ultimately wins it because I think people will look at the fact that their turnover ratio was, plus 22 in the end? And my hunch is that enough voters will look at that and be like, well, you kind of did get this unsustainable best of that, right? That was really the driver of your season as much, if not more than anything. That's why I feel he has no chance. It's no knock on his coaching job. He did a great job. Dave Ross is hoping that Brian Schottenheimer gets... Are you hoping Brian Schottenheimer gets fired, Dave? Really? Come on. Zach Cohen saying about tennis, almost feel like it never stopped because it kind of didn't. Hey, man, 6 weeks off was great. Jason H11, I wouldn't mind if my Giants hired Stefanski. Numbers guy saying, you haven't been hitting refresh on the VSiN Picks page the last 3 months like me. Best of luck down under. Really look forward to your insight. What is he talking about here? Oh, he's talking about...
He's missed your tennis picks.
He's missed the tennis picks, yeah. Oh, hey, listen, we're back. Again, and it's in Australia, so I do the handicapping during the day, as I'm sure Zach does as well. So I can't really give out the picks on the show because the way that the time zones work, haven't handicapped for the next night, if you will. Michael Harrison, I want a t-shirt that just says, a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN. What are we doing? Merle Betts, today I extended my running streak to 365 days while watching Gil and Kelly. Couldn't think of a better way to get it done. Channeling Greg Peterson. Thanks, guys. 365 in a row. Good for you, Merle Betts. And James Sott. Adam Burke speaks the truth. Somehow finding a kicker saved the GM's job when he couldn't find a quarterback. I didn't know we picked up former NFL MVP Mark Mosley. Mark Mosley, a former Brown as well. That's where he went to play after he was in Washington. 1982 NFL MVP Mark Mosley, Kelly. Oh, it was a different time. Let's recap the bets. I made a lot. Me too. Not on the first game between the Panthers and Rams, and none on the last game between the Texans and Steelers, but everything in between. I'm on the Bears. There you go. Guy who was giving me trouble about my take on Ben Johnson. I'm on the Bears. They're not playing the Rams, though, as stated on the screen. They are playing the Packers. So I'm on the Bears -1 versus the Packers. I am on the Jags on the money line versus the Bills. I think the wrong team is favored. There. I took the Niners plus 3.5 at the Eagles. And I got the Chargers, both ATS at the Patriots, plus 3.5, and I sprinkled some on the money line, plus 161. Sprinkle me, man. The only line, though, that did surprise me, Kelly, though, if you really want to talk about just not bettable, but what was the line that surprised me? The Bills being the favorite at Jacksonville.
Me too.
And I know it's just, 1.5 point here, 1.5 point there, whatever it is, 1 point here, still. And then the awards and the NFL futures and college football futures that remain alive here. Bijan, Offensive Player of the Year, 150-1. Mike McDonald, Coach of the Year, 9-1. And I made the case earlier. How is Mike McDonald not going to be the coach of the year? What else could they have done? And then the Super Bowl finalist matchups I have both involving the Chargers. Chargers Rams 28-1, Chargers Niners 66-1. I think I want to add something. I just don't know what yet, though. And then Indiana, the one that's the most live of any of these, Indiana to win the college football championship 10-1. That could make up for a lot of errors. That one. Kelly Midland, what do you got?
And I got a lot, too.
Oh, and I have Illinois State today in the FCS championship, but completely riding Randy McKay.
Yes.
It's on mine.
It's on mine, too, but
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it up because, yes, Randy, absolutely tailing Randy on this one. I'm just dying laughing because I'm texting a friend Nate, who I was convinced is an Illinois State guy. He went to Illinois State. I'm like, man, a lot of sharp dudes on your squad today. He goes, yeah, I went to Southern Illinois, but thanks.
It's like when I pop my Achilles and my buddy Juan is like, how's your knee doing? I'm like, my knee is great, Juan. Thanks for asking.
Oh, man, I tried.
My Achilles, on the other hand, trouble.
I was trying to give you some love, Nate. Sorry, man. All right, NBA tonight, 76ers team total over 121.5. You could probably get a little bit better number than that now because that total's come down a little bit with Denver coming into town. Reminder, Nikola Jokic out, but they did get some help back this weekend. Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown both back in the lineup for the Nuggets. So it'll be interesting to see watch them here over their next few games. And then I laid 5.5 with the Blazers tonight. Utah Jazz coming into town. Illinois State, we already talked about, plus 10.5. And Drake May, just wanted to note this, plus 150. I did buy on some of that last night. Just a Stafford hedge there.
Before you get to the NFL, can I just interject this? I have never seen so many great NBA handicappers struggle so violently as I am right now.
Finally had a good weekend.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a 5-2 weekend, I think. I had a lot of bets, actually.
Okay.
All right,
Kelly
teaser.
Midland accepted.
No, I mean, look, that was my month of December for sure. All right, 6-point teaser. Packers up to 7.5. Jags up to 7.5. Bet the Jags on the money line as well. Even money there. Laid 3 with the Eagles at 115. Laid 3 with the Texans on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There you go.
You know what? I'm a little surprised by that line too, Gil. That it opened 2.5. Ravens.
I guess
Ravens
2.5.
are a better team than the Texans.
Well, you're already a road favorite. I didn't think you'd get the full 3. I mean, Pittsburgh deserves a little respect for being Pittsburgh and having Aaron Rodgers, I thought, based on that performance yesterday. That's why I didn't give it the 3. Adam Burke, Montana State. He's oppo Randy McKay and us. He's taking Montana State minus the 10. College football semis. He's got Miami minus 3.5 versus Ole Miss. And he's taking the over in the Miami Ole Miss semi on Thursday. And college hoops today, Oregon minus 6 at Rutgers. Sunj, the State University of New Jersey.
That's
Copyright Chris Felica. Real quick before because Andy Molitor's on the other side, we want to get his contest situation. Co-host of the Deep Dive with Drew Dinsick. Comeback player of the year in our last 30 seconds.
Oh, yes.
You are not convinced that it's going to Christian McCaffrey?
I'm not.
Who do you think it's going to?
I think Trevor Lawrence is live.
I think you're right.
I think Trevor Lawrence is live. I think
you're right.
Dak's out of it. But like I had to type up all these because Gil Alexander, I want to ask you, who is more likely now? Who's less likely to win comeback player of the year, Phillip Rivers or Stephon Diggs? What voter is writing down Stephon Diggs right now?
Stephon Diggs is absolutely the least likely.
If you were watching at home, these are all the guys that are listed at DraftKings, by the way. And they chose to put Stephon Diggs on there.
Have you seen that video where all the teammates are like, who would you least want to
Yes.
date your girlfriend? They're all like, Diggs! Couldn't even finish the sentence. Andy Molitor next.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Head into the new year with a smarter betting strategy powered by VSiN Pro. Join VSiN Pro, get instant access to everything you need to make informed bets every day. Sign up now. Get daily best bets from VSiN hosting guests, real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits, AI-powered prop tools and matchup analysis, 24/7 video, full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus expert picks and prop data throughout the NFL and college football playoffs. Get started today, why don't you? For just $9.99, $9.99, or save 50% with an annual plan. Start betting smarter today at vsin.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. Gil Alexander from Circa Studios here at lovely Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. Kelly is Moni in the middle here. I've slid over to the right because our next guest, kind enough to join us in studio, we didn't plan this, but we knew that he's leaving town here, so we wanted to get him in. And by the way, let me just say I owe him an apology. He probably doesn't know this. But we always have Drew Dinsick on. Drew Dinsick is his partner for their podcast, The Deep Dive with Drew Dinsick. Drew is always on A Numbers Game weekly. He comes on the Megapod. And because Drew is on, I rarely invite Andy to do stuff, and I feel terrible about this. It's a big oversight. Andy Molidor joins us live in studio right now. You can follow him on Twitter at AndyMSFW. So my apologies to you, sir.
Accepted.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to get the text from you this morning. And I was kind of, waking up here trying to figure out what time it is on the West Coast.
Yeah, I don't see Drew in town having to cash some contests and everything.
Forget
right?
that guy.
Yeah, come on, jeez.
We're Team Andy this morning. All right. First, before we get into your story here on Circa Millions, when do the deep dive episodes come out for people typically weekly to get?
Every day. We do them
every single
day now. We're doing morning shows. We're going to adjust a little this week. We usually do our big podcast on Wednesdays in the afternoon, going through all the games. But we're going to push it to Thursday. I want extra injury news. It just doesn't work during the season with TNF. But
yes.
I want all the injury news for this week. Although, man, I got a couple bets I'm firing already. There's some lines I don't care for right now.
Save that for the end of this because I want to get your opinion on this. So you were all up in this Circa Millions contest. I had no idea. Where did you stand before this weekend?
I didn't really have much of an idea either. Because I just pass on my picks to Drew. He sends them to the proxy. And it was kind of a middling start to the season. And then after Thanksgiving, we hit this stride, both of us, where we just, every week, everything was hitting almost. It's the most fun feeling in betting to have a heater. You can't walk away from a heater, which obviously I'm going to bet NFL every week, but it just kept going. And somebody mentioned that they were doing well, and I'm like, I should check mine because I just used my plays, and I look, I'm like, wow, I'm in 42nd place in the whole dang thing. And,
oh my God!
And I wish I hadn't because that was 2 weeks ago, and then I got nervous.
You're right.
Because I'm just vibe sending. Like, oh, here's the games I played this week. Like the lines are pretty close. It's Circa to here, Drew. This is what I like, and so I got real nervous. I ended up going 4-1 last week, and moving into 25th. So then it gets real
serious.
Yeah, and I started to, put together a little spreadsheet to figure out, some hedging strategies and who other people had picks. You don't get the picks out to the public until it was like halftime of the Niners game, I think.
Oh, right.
So I'm sitting in my office. We just done halftime. I'm Tweedledee and figuring out. I got it loaded up. I tested it with the week 17 picks so I could be ready. And I look at the differences. What if things go perfect? I gotta fly out. I'm at the office. It's like 9:30 at night. I'm texting my wife.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, this is Saturday, 9:30, and I text my wife. I'm going out. I'm gonna head out.
Your wife was understanding?
Yeah,
she was.
She's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. She's learned to try to. Good luck trying to stop me from doing stuff.
Well, you're flying out to ensure that you bring something back, right?
Yeah.
I think she would be.
No. That was half the. I said, I'm like, I got to hedge to make sure we get something out of this.
How much did the quarterly pollute this? Because you were involved in the quarterly too.
The quarterly is tough, and congrats to those guys. Because somebody would look at him. We went like 21-4.
21-4.
Yeah, so
what's your name? What was your team
Was it
name?
2 different entries?
Deep Dive 2 was
2.
mine. So you look at the standings. We're looking at them. They're in front of us on a monitor here, and I'm just below that. I was like a half point out of the fourth quarter. I think the chop for the 5th place. So I could have got some of that if the Falcons hadn't falconed things up, but such is life. And yeah, I went to bed. I texted Benson, texted the credit guy, said I'm going to bed. Let me know in the morning. Woke up. Yeah, come out, credit. Good. And I woke up at 3 in the morning, drove to the airport, got out here, and
So what did you end up? What was your record this week, and what did you end up hedging on?
Went 4-1 again. I'm just off the.
I'm just in the full season. You're 1
Yeah,
down.
I think on the tweet, on the official graphic you get from the Circa, it's 57.5 is the cutoff. I ended up with 57 points.
Wow.
So best I've ever done for sure. And I think it's like 30K for the.
So it's like
prize.
16th place.
There you go.
T16. Yeah,
T16.
Yeah, best finish yet.
Congratulations, man.
Thank
That's
you, thank
awesome.
you.
And you made some money hedging away, or no? You went 4-1, so you lost some money. I guess.
It was nice to get go up there and get my Saints money after the Falcons crushed me, but
yeah,
there was a little here and there where we went back and forth on should we take this and should I take the Ravens? But the biggest thing was going into the night game. That's the biggest swing. I had the Steelers plus 3.5. So you have the advantage of I can bet against a dog. I can bet in the final game. I know where I'm at. So as the games are finishing, I go upstairs real quick, punch it in the computer. I figure out what the difference is. I kind of look at what we should do, what the exact head should be. Is it Steelers plus 3.5 in the contest? I walk over to the cage. Give me some more of those tokens. I'm going to bring them over to the sports book. I walk to the sports book, 10 minutes to spare maybe. Ravens minus 4.5. The line had jumped.
Oh, yeah. It was like crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, are we buying a point? And am I taking Ravens minus 3.5, like minus 140, I suppose, at that point? Or am I just saying, we'll just gut it out here? So I said, maybe the Steelers will start hot. Maybe the Steelers will start out and I'll get an even better number, this pie in the sky notion. It did not happen if you caught that game. There were some spots when it ended up tied there. I did lay off a little bit with the Ravens.
How much of your brain space did this consume for the entire week?
It was a bad week at work.
Yeah.
Like just trying to get anything done. I was just thinking about this. And
I'm sure you can't go 10 minutes without thinking about it.
I'm almost happy it's over. I'm pumped that it's I'm pumped it's the playoffs too. It's such a grind getting through the NFL season, but man, there's some good matchups this weekend.
All right, so let's talk about it. For someone who finished, and by the way, congratulations, Andy. T16 is an amazing accomplishment. Are you one of these guys who'll put it in your Twitter bio that you were T16?
I should. I haven't updated my Twitter bio in years.
You should.
Remember that time I did that as a joke?
Yes.
Like the quarter I said it, I was like, let's see how long it takes for someone to call me out. Then I forgot about it. Like a month later, I was like, I should update
Kelly
my
was like
profile.
T143rd.
So I was in it in the last week and then nothing.
All right, so what were the wild card lines where you were like, oh, I like this?
Yeah, and it's funny. Drew and I did a show this morning, which I kept looking at my phone as it was like waking me up. And like, I got an hour before I got to go on air. I can sleep 10 more minutes. Like this is rough this morning. We stayed up late. Matt kept us out late at Barry's last night.
Matt Brown?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Matt
Shocker.
Brown.
Can't imagine that.
Great conversation with him at Barry's, but I was up late. We sat down, and it was great because we were real simpatico on the Jaguars. I don't quite understand why they're not favored.
Me too.
What Cohen
Kelly
has done
too.
with that offense is it's. We talked about that. What teams scare you in the playoffs? And I think in the AFC, it is the Jaguars. It's absolutely them. The offense where it's come from the beginning of the season to be like, oh, this Trevor and Liam thing isn't working to where they're at now.
If there was ever a line that can be accused of being historical and not based on the season, it's that one. Because it just feels like it's based on priors from previous years.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Josh Allen racking up 5 touchdowns on us, and us all losing. Yes, but I'm with you. I thought it was the Jags too.
Which one besides this one? Because I agree with you completely.
The other egregious one is 10 points at home. I don't think I can bet it though. It's just looking at my power numbers and where I told Drew, I'm like, even if I set the Rams at the highest number that I've set any team at this season, I've never had anyone really above a 7. I put them at a 7.5. They're on the road. Take away a 1.5. That means they're 6 points better, plus another 4. So you're saying the the Carolina Panthers are 4 points worse than a neutral team? Like they're not great, but it's so many. I don't think I'll have the balls to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
But
guess
there's an angle there, and I think it might be the over, depending if Quentin Lake doesn't play, or honestly, I think the Rams just might score 30, and that's the problem.
I'm with you. I thought that was a little too high. Last thing in the last 30 seconds, Andy Molitor from the Deep Dive podcast, which he does with our buddy Drew Dinsick. Did you do anything different this year to get these results? Or was it the same process you always have? And if so, what's that process?
Not a ton. Drew and I, same kind of meeting. We started doing the daily shows, which maybe that was helping. Because Monday mornings we'd spend a little more time with the openers, a little more. I'd spend a little more time in the injuries. Still wasn't betting a lot of early lines, but honestly, keeping up with the injuries and kind of talking it back and forth. That's something we said 8 years ago when we were first doing the podcast. Halfway through that first season, we both said it. I'm like, I think I'm better at this year because we're talking it out.
Talk it out.
Andy Molitor, everybody. Congratulations, Andy. T16 in millions. Prop points next. Enjoy from VSiN.